Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them. And you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larder, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman. New season. Now streaming. Only on Paramount Plus.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
It's time for the kickoff show.
What a win for the 49ers!
It's Sunday, and we're locked in on the red and gold.
What a run by George Kittle!
Week 11 is here. This is the kickoff show. Evan Giddings and Hall of Fame nominee Lorenzo Neal with you on 95.7 The Game, getting you set for the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. Second meeting between the two. First time it was Mac Jones low. This time it will be Brock Purdy as Brock makes his long-awaited return on the heels of last week's, obviously, just tough defeat against the Los Angeles Rams. But what's going on? Good morning, man. How are you?
Hey, great, baby. Me and you, we both got the little weather, little winters here. Got our little skull caps on, ready to rock and roll, ready to watch that Bang Bang Niner game, get this thing back on the right track. And let me reintroduce our man, Brock Purdy, back to the starting lineup. But last week was no indictment on Jones. You watched Mac Jones, the way he played last week. He was okay. He played even better as the game got going, but it was just too much. The Rams are a better team. I think they're the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFC, and I would think even to go out on a limb and say NFL. If you look at their Puka core, their receiving core, and, of course, Devontae Adams, you watch the way they work with Stafford. These guys are pros. They have a good defense. They've got a lot of guys up front that can get after you. They can hit you, rush the quarterback. They can run the ball, sustain drives. Matthew Stafford still is one of those guys that can get rid of the ball quick, doesn't let you hit him, doesn't take a lot of hits. I think this team, in my opinion, they're one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and the San Francisco 49ers are a good team. Learned last week, may not be a great team, but trying to sweep the Rams in a single season, that's just going to be tough to do. You stole the one in L.A. on that Thursday night with Mac Jones. To not get the one at home, to me, was not the end-all, be-all. But it does set up a game against a divisional opponent now in the Cardinals that you can sweep. And the Cardinals are not a bad team, but certainly at 3-6, not a team that is looking to make some noise. They've gone away from their starting quarterback that you first saw. So first matchup, it was Kyler against Mac. Second matchup, it's now Brock against Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, isn't that trading places? Isn't that interesting? You had the backup quarterback for the Niners to go out and win, and now the starting quarterback for the Niners are going to be playing the backup in Brissett. So, you know what? This is going to be an interesting game, and this is a game the Niners really need to win. If they're going to get in the playoffs and sneak in this playoffs and make some noise, it starts today because you need to win this game.
Well, do you think that this was the time for Brock Purdy? Kyle Shanahan talked about it earlier in the week that on the heels of their loss to the Rams, he wanted to get, I think it was like 3 good practices in for Brock, wanted to be aggressive, wanted to try and target this week to bring him back. But to your point, this is a massive week. You're 6-4. Right now, you're outside of the playoff picture. You have a chance to get a couple of wins going into your bye week in 3 weeks. You got the Cardinals today. You got the Panthers. You got the Browns. You got some winnable games coming up on your schedule. But this one is important from the standpoint of, number one, the division, number two, the conference, and just, I think, keeping pace with the rest of the teams in the NFC, because the Niners are a team that, while they've suffered all these injuries, they still have a good shot to make the playoffs. And they've won some big games. You and I did right before the Sunday night game against the Falcons. That was a big swing game for them. A couple of weeks ago, when they were able to get that win in New York, get back off the canvas after losing in Houston, that was a nice win for them. And they haven't lost back-to-back games all year. So I think there is some pressure on Brock Purdy today, even though he's going to be making his return. He hasn't played in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, it absolutely is going to be, because the last time they were in this situation, in the return of Brock Purdy, they were playing against a team that wasn't necessarily great, but wasn't necessarily bad, but a team that they should have beat. And you know who that is. That's none other than the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Brock Purdy was awful in that game. He cost them that game. You could be sitting here at 7-2 if you didn't play Brock Purdy in that game. So now, fast forward 6-7 weeks later, you have a healthy quarterback now. He's going to take the helm, and I look for this guy to play and look for him to play well, because he understands what's at stake. Brock Purdy understands, hey, look, his last outing wasn't good. He wants to erase that memory, and he's saying, look, how do we do that? It's by taking care of business. We're going on the road, playing against a team that's dangerous. Every team in the NFL has a chance, because you're all getting paid. But if you look at the next 3 weeks, like you indicated, Arizona, the Browns, and you got to play against the Carolina Panthers. These are 3 games that you should win, 3 games that you're probably going to be favored in. You have to find a way, and it starts today with the quarterback position, because we know what the quarterback means in the National Football League.
Well, especially because Mac Jones has set a pretty high bar. Mac Jones is the backup. He always knew that his job was to set the table and keep this team in a position to make a postseason push, and that's exactly what he accomplished. Over his 8 games that he quarterbacked this year, he went 5-3, and he got you some wins against some teams you should have beat. He got you a win against a team in the Rams I think you probably didn't expect to get. So he's outperformed expectations for what he was asked to do coming into this season. Now the baton has been handed to Brock Purdy. And I don't know, Lo, if I'm looking at the rest of this schedule and saying the 49ers have to make the playoffs, because right now they are out of the playoff picture. But I think it would be a major disappointment for a lot of fans, and even this team, I believe, if they don't make the playoffs, given the teams ahead of them, and also what Mac Jones has accomplished. Because he's put you in a position where I think most teams, if you're without your starting quarterback, even a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Flacco's a good quarterback.
Right.
But that team is on the outside looking in the playoffs. They're probably not going to make the postseason. You look at a team like the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett's a solid quarterback, but that's a team that's 3-6. Mac Jones has kept this 49ers team where they need to be and ahead of schedule.
Without a doubt, you're in the thick of things, and you have an opportunity to make up some ground over the next 3 weeks. Let's just face it. As Guru would say, put the rat on the table. I mean, you got Arizona, a team that's got only won 3 games. You got the Browns. They're in shambles. They don't know which quarterback they want to go with. Their defense is giving up. They're going to get rocked. Watch today. That's the bet by those guys. If you're out there listening, my lock today, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I think when you look at the Cleveland Browns, you've traded off Joey Flacco after 3 weeks. You go with another young quarterback. He's been struggling. Your defense is like looking, you have a pass rusher that gets 5 sacks in one game, and you still lose the game. Haven't accumulated, much more than 200 yards in total offense. The defense is starting to reel. They're getting tired. I think that I'm just talking about the Niners, what they have in the schedule. So these 2 games for sure. Carolina Panthers, though, they got some fight in them. Mm-hmm. They're outside. They want to get that. They have a playoff hope still there, but that's going to be the toughest game out of these 3, in my opinion. But you need to take care of today with Arizona. You got to beat the Browns. Think you should be favored against Arizona. I mean, and against the Panthers as well. So, but right now, all hands on deck. Welcome back. Your quarterback, a guy that we've seen take this team to the NFC Championship game. take them to a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy is back. I just want to see, hey, look, Mac Jones did a great job. Everyone's wondering when was they're going to turn the page and go back to Brock Purdy. Well, guess what? The page has been turned. Brock Purdy has the keys. Back. He's driving the bus. He's driving the car. Now, let's go. That's what this should be about. Forget what Mac Jones done. He's allowed this team to be in an opportunity to be in contentions to get into the playoffs. Now, Brock Purdy, you got to do your job and win these 3 next games. But the team collectively, and that's the big thing. You still have to play. You still have to play complementary football. Mm-hmm. Good special teams, bend but don't break on defense. Field position. Don't allow turnovers. Do those things. Don't turn the ball over as offense. Get some turnovers on defense. That's how you're going to win games. You're still not going to go out and score 30, 40 points. That's not how you built. That's not the team that you are. You have to play complementary football, even with the quarterback coming back, to start Brock Purdy.
I'm glad you brought that up because it felt like last week to me, looking at the Rams game, the offense was not the problem. You gave up 400 yards, a lot of which to Matthew Stafford through the air. They had 130 on the ground. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum running it down your throat. You could not stop. They had 2 punts. You could not stop L.A. And I thought that, Mac, 33 for 39, 300 yards, a couple touchdowns. He played well.
He did.
But 26 points is not going to be good enough when your defense is getting gashed. And so that's a loss that I can't place at the foot of a quarterback. And looking now to the Cardinals, am I expecting the Cardinals to drop 42 points? No. But you're right in the sense that this defense over the last few weeks has been leaking oil, and that means that the offense has to step up. They have to do their part. I think it was George Kittle who said it after the Giants game when they scored 34 points. We know that we're going to have to be perfect for this team to win. And it's a bit hyperbolic, but his point is early in the year, the defense was carrying this team.
Right.
Now, because of injuries, it's up to the offense and getting your starting quarterback back to carry the team.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like carry the team. I think that it's like, not be perfect, but you're right. They do have to carry the team, but they don't have to be perfect. When you're talking about, okay, you got to be perfect on offense. No, you just can't turn the ball over. Last week, they played a good offense. I thought Mac Jones, 300-something yards, he threw the ball around the field, but that game was lost in the first quarter. When you go down and don't have any offense generating early in that game, Jennings fumbled the ball. You can't have those mistakes because then you were in the game. But because you went down 20, 21, whatever it was, the game was pretty much over by halftime, and they were always in catch-up mode. So you do got to get better on defense. You got to create some stops. You have to get better. And I think Robert Saleh is going to sound the alarm. And I think this defense will play better today. They have to. They were civ last week. Like you said, they got to run the ball up and down the field on them, throw the ball all over the field. You saw the receivers. They couldn't be stopped. It was bad. It was bad secondary play. It was bad safety play. It was bad all the way around. And they understand that. So you got to see this team, see how they're going to have some resolve to get better and play better defense and play better on the back end as well.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because, look, you're at home. If you win that game, obviously you're kind of in the driver's seat potentially for the division. You control your own destiny. But that's a game that I was looking at. We were talking about it last week when we were Laughing Monk Brewing. It was going to be a really tough game. And you go down 21 out of the gate. The Jennings fumble obviously doesn't help. But even in spite of that, they showed fight. They were down one score a couple different times in the second half. They just couldn't get that one stop. And so I think that this is a Niners team that the score on the board for the Rams made it look kind of disastrous.
Right.
But in spite of that, I think they still showed a lot of fight. And that's a team that, to me, has kind of been the same group all year. Like, even when they've been down, when they've been ahead, it's a scrappy, resilient group. And one that I believe that's kind of the reason why, Lo, that to me, that week is just wiped away. And it's a totally different one.
Yeah, you got to wipe it away. But you also got to look at, hey, in the fourth quarter, it was still a one-score game. So they fought back and reduced the score, just never could get ahead on defensively and get some major stops to create some opportunity for the offense. So it was different, and you got to wipe this. You got to say, look, let's turn. We're on the next week. We're on the Arizona Cardinals because you played a juggernaut. You probably played a team that I would be. I know now. I used to go with Green Bay. They're better than Green Bay because Matthew Stafford and the offense can score. Minnesota. Minnesota. You don't know they can do to Minnesota. I think that Philadelphia's got a great defense up front, but I think that right now, offense. We saw that game where the Rams were up by double digits. The Rams were absolutely dominating that football game, and they let Philadelphia come back with blocked the field goal and blocked punt and 2 scores on special teams. So when you think about it, they should have won that game. And now you look at it and you say, so who are the teams in the NFC that they have to worry about? I think it's today we get to see. We get to see too. Seattle is not a bad team. Seattle is one of the better teams in the NFC. I think that you're going to see these 2 teams are both top 5 teams without a doubt. I don't think you can name, I'll let you if you can, name me 3 other teams in the NFC that are better than, these 2 teams are going to play today. I think they're both in the top 5.
No, I can't do it. I think that's
Can't do it.
Appreciate that.
Coach Denny Green, baby.
It's great. So both these matchups are NFC West matchups. You got the Cardinals and the Niners, and then the game that I think everyone is sort of wondering who's going to be top dog is Seattle and LA.
Right.
LA is the team that I think is better. I don't want to say better put together, but they got a little more experience on their side. Obviously, they have a Super Bowl champion head coach, quarterback. They got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. They got some, and their defense is young and they're lethal.
Hungry. They're flying
But this
around.
Seattle team is surprising some people this year.
question.
They have blown out a lot of teams, including the Commanders a couple weeks ago. Last week, I believe it was the Cardinals who they curb stomped at home, 44-22. They're rolling right now. So I think that this game, this 1 o'clock window is going to be really interesting and is going to tell us a lot about not just the NFC West, which is looking like one of, if not the best divisions in the league, but also who the best potential team in the NFC is. Because to your point, I think you can make a case it's the Rams, but if Seattle's able to knock them off today, that's a team that you got to look at and say, all right, they deserve our respect.
Agreed. Without a doubt, win, lose, or draw, Seattle is going. This is not going to be a blowout. These 2 teams know what's at stake. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. Seattle and the Rams, both teams are saying, look, whoever wins this game is more than likely going to be the division winner. So I see this game being a 1-score game, and it's going to go down to the wire. And maybe the team with the ball last wins this football game because that's how competitive it's going to be. And, yes, the Niners are going to be watching this game, saying, okay, cool. We're right still in the thick of things because you still have the tiebreaker against Seattle. And if you can find a way to win, beat the Seattle when you come back again. So it's just a good day of football, especially for the NFC West.
Yeah, and you're looking around, there's a bunch of division matchups, a lot of really enticing games that we're going to get into as we roll on later on here on the Kickoff Show with Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. A reminder, our next home game that you can get out to Laughing Monk Brewing is coming up in just a little bit after the bye week. In fact, the Tennessee Titans, Week 15, the next time they're at home, where we'll be down at Laughing Monk Brewing. You can also, of course, catch the game on Monday night next week when they play the Carolina Panthers. That'll be an awesome time to go out to Laughing Monk Brewing and just enjoy some good times, some good people for the next home game that we'll be at for Laughing Monk Brewing. It's going to be, again, Week 15, December 14th. You can get to 957thegame.com, click on the Kickoff Show graphic, hit the Eventbrite link, secure your spot on a free shuttle to and from the stadium. Hang out before the game, hang out after the game, drink responsibly, and have a good time. All right, as for the Arizona Cardinals, this is a team that I think, when I've watched them play, it's really hard to get a gauge on them because they're a bit banged up. They'll be missing Marvin Harrison, their star wide receiver today. James Conner was out for the season, hurt himself actually in the first meeting against the San Francisco 49ers. You got to go back, to Week 3. But this is a team that is a little bit dangerous. I don't know. The game on Monday night a couple weeks ago they played against the Cowboys kind of opened my eyes to what Brissett has been able to do. Yeah. And as much as Mac Jones has been an awesome, probably the best backup across the league because of the win-loss record, Brissett's a guy that he takes care of the ball. And to your point about possession, about not losing the turnover battle, Jacoby Brissett is one of the best at not giving extra opportunities to the opposition.
Yeah, I think Jacoby Brissett is very gutty. He's a guy, situation that understands the position he's in. I think Brissett, I don't think he's playing to be a starting quarterback any longer. I think he's happy and content being a backup and serviceable, but he's showing the value that he has. There's certain guys, you watch Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was going to be a starter again. Certain guys, is you just say, okay, they're going to get that shot. They've been groomed. When you saw what happened, the opportunity for him, he stepped in, Sam Darnold. In Minnesota right now, Vikings, they're probably kicking themselves. They had a rookie quarterback. You still could have kept Sam Darnold because he's still on a rookie contract. You paid him. He didn't want the world. Could have paid him, freaking $20 million a year, something what he got now, and rode that out for 3 or 4 years or 2-year deal, gave him some money, gave him good money, and you still got the guy on a rookie quarterback. So I don't know. I think they're kicking themselves for letting him leave the building. But I think with Brissett, here's a guy, if they don't get a guy in the draft, a quarterback, Brissett will come in as a starter. He's a stopgap quarterback that can come in and play and win games. A great comp to him would be Geno. Geno is not a bona fide starter. Geno has to have everything going right to be a great not to be a great quarterback, to win games. For him to go out and orchestrate it and go win games week in and week out, that's not who Geno is. And I think that his quarterback is in the same type of mold. And so, but he'll beat you. He can beat you. He can hurt you. He's smart. He's a student to the game. He's playing, and he wants to show people that he still can play at a high level. So the 49ers are going to have the handful. He's hard to bring down. He's a big physical guy. I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it felt like the two games that happened at the same time last week, LA and San Francisco, and then Seattle and Arizona, were kind of mirror images of each other. Like Seattle jumped out to a 28-0 lead.
It was over.
Had a couple defensive touchdowns. I mean, that was a game. They were just running wild at CenturyLink up there in or what's it now, like Lumineer Stadium or something. And then of course at Levi's, the Rams jumped out to an early lead too. So these are two teams that I think are. I don't want to say they're evenly matched. The Niners are a better team than the Cardinals, who are also banged up.
Right.
But divisional matchups can always be a little bit wonky, and the Niners did barely get them the first time they played. Since then, the Cardinals went on a 4-game losing streak, went to Brissett out of the bye week, beat the Cowboys. Seattle took a loss. He's going to be their starting quarterback for the rest of the season. I guess I'm just trying to figure out what direction the Cardinals going at this point, because they're still clearly trying to fight. They got some talent. Defensively, they're a bit better than people give them credit for. But I think because of the quarterback position, because Kyler Murray has sort of failed to live up to their expectations in his contract, they're where I thought they were coming into this year low looking to compete and looking to be better than they were last year when they went 8-9. It now appears that Arizona is a franchise that is more in reset mode than anything else.
Oh, without a doubt, Kyler Murray is no longer going to be the quarterback in Arizona. His days are numbered there, and that's why they said, let's put him on IR. Let's go with, Brissett and say, hey, look, let's ride this wave. So I think that you look at it and you say, where they're going? They're a team that's clearly have pushed the reset button. They're going to try to get better through the draft, maybe through trades next year, but they're done. They're not going to be in the playoffs. And I think that game last week, the one they played against Seattle, really took a lot of deflating them, took a lot of air out of the sails. Like you said, they were totally dominated. They know they're not going anywhere, and they're playing for pride. But if you let a team that's playing for pride stick around and let them continue to grind, they'll hurt you and they'll beat you. So this is a team that the Niners can't let stick around. This is a team that the Niners got to say, we know this is going to be a dogfight, but if we play our best football and we play Niner football, we will win this game. Arizona's a team that's going to be gutsy. They're fighting, still fighting. They're playing for Brissett. They understand how hard he wants to win and how the way he is playing. I think you're going to see a very, very competitive game. I think the Niners still a better team.
Yeah, and look, Arizona has, compared to the Niners, they've lost all the games that the Niners have found ways to win. Like, I think the Niners this year have shown that in a close game, they're just a more trustworthy group. Obviously, against the Cardinals, there was the late 4th down and 2 pass from Mac Jones to Ricky Pearsall, who also is going to be activated today since his injury against Jacksonville. So he's going to return after a 6-week absence as well. But those kinds of tight situation, gotta have it plays. The Niners over the course of this season have made those plays, whereas the Arizona Cardinals, they just have not been able. I mean, shoot, they've blown a couple games where they should have won. DeMercado, all the way back in Week 5, dropping the ball right before the end zone, blowing that game miraculously to the Tennessee Titans. They lost a 3-point game to Seattle earlier in the year, right after they lost the 1-point game to San Francisco. So one-score games have not gone the Cardinals' way. Meanwhile, the Niners have kind of made their hay on getting it done in tight situations.
No question. I'm a huge and firm believer good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose. When you look at this Arizona Cardinal team, they can be in games and they find ways to lose because they're not that good and they don't believe. When you're a team that, it's 2 minutes left and you say, give us the ball back, and you see them go down and score, most of those teams believe they can win. They have a chance to win. They have the guys to get them over the hump. I don't believe that Arizona think they're a good team. I think they're in play for pride mode, play for, hey, it's my name's on it, play for, I get in a contract next year. That's where Arizona's at. I remember playing on some teams that we weren't so good. We're called the Aints, went 2-14, and being on those teams, and we couldn't buy a win, and people were coming with the bags and their heads, the stadium's not full, but they know you're going to lose. Played in the Dirty Natty in Cincinnati, and we were horrible in Cincinnati, ferocious, as I like to say. And I remember going to a Pro Bowl on that team because it became psychological, man. I knew, not necessarily going to lose, but I knew that it was going to be tough to win games. I knew that I had to play and have to play hard and play at another level in spite of, because you know that your team's not good. So it's like, how do you get yourself ready to play and play at a high level and play with efficiency and effective? Everyone is not built that way. Everyone can't do it. And that's why you see teams sometimes because guys have quit because they're not playing for anything.
Well, and also, too, I imagine it's got to be hard when you have to do more than just your job. You're trying to do too much every single week because your team's struggling. You're not making plays when you're supposed to. You're missing blocks. You're missing assignments. And a lot of times it's just because you're playing outside of your capability. And these teams, obviously, that are at the bottom don't have a ton of talent, but it compounds and gets worse. And you've taught me this too, Lo, that bad teams only get worse, whereas the good teams over the course of the season get better. I'm curious what the Niners are going to be, because they're getting their quarterback back today, and their offense should get better. But their defense is slowly deteriorated throughout this season to the point where I'm wondering if, they got some winnable games coming up, and they got a favorable schedule the rest of the way, but are they going to be able to get to the finish line? I think that's where having Brock Purdy come back should ideally be important, because you're getting a jolt, right? You didn't make any moves at the deadline, and that's fine. You added a Keon White, you got an edge rusher, you got a little bit of depth. But now you get a jolt in the arm at quarterback, wide receiver. You can't get Bosa back, you can't get Warner back. But you're getting some guys back now that in an ideal world should help you get better over the course of the year, not like the Cardinals, who are looking like they're going the other direction.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because you stated earlier that the offense has to be the best unit, which it does. And we stated that they have to play complementary football, which they do. But like you said, you're getting offensive weapons back. Your offense should be continuing to make strides, and today is no exception. With getting back Brock Purdy, understanding what he is, and he is the leader of this team. They gave him that multi-million-dollar contract. It's time to go earn some money, kid. And it's going to be interesting because Brock Purdy is a leader. He's a leader of men. You listen to the guys and how they talk about him last year, the year before, all these years, how this guy comes in and he wants to be good, and we saw the incredible things that he can do when he's healthy with his legs scrambling, all those great things, attributes that he has. I think he can, by him back emerging in the lineup, I think he can make others around him better. What do I mean by that? Because when you see your Superman comes through that gate and you say, okay, we got our guy back, what is that going to do? That can make your defense get a little more juices. That can make your offense get a little more juices. And it depends because they're out there with practice. And if Brock's taking over, and I imagine Shanahan saying, hey, be back assertive, show your leadership, show your dominance, demand of these guys, demand for excellence. I think if you have that Brock Purdy, which we've seen him play at a very high level, I think he makes others around him better.
This is the kickoff show with Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal. We got you until 1 o'clock. Cardinals hosting your San Francisco 49ers, and we got you until then. I'm going to play some Brock Purdy sound, the man of the hour. He makes his return today. I'll play some sound from him when we come back on the other side. All ahead on 95.7 The Game.
This year's ratings of the best TVs just got published, and Samsung, LG, and Sony scored the highest. Also, they warned about the poor performance of the bargain brands promoted at some stores. So where can you get the best deal on the top-rated TVs? At the club? Online? Nope. At Video Only. They've got their better than Black Friday deals on right now. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only before you buy.
The NBA season's rolling, and DraftKings' newest game, Pick 6, is the easiest way to play for your shot at big wins. NBA stars are lighting it up. Now their numbers aren't just highlights. They're your shot to cash in. Here's how it works. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball. Pick, play, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THEGAME. That's code THEGAME. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Ends December 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Hey, this is Joe Shasky from 95.7 The Game. Want to hear something super? Well, Merit America wants to get you on the path to a super new high-paying career with free coaching and training. And the first step is a super job working at the super big game. Go to meritamerica.org/super and see how you can sign up for super career training in HR, logistics, data analysis, and much more for free. So go to meritamerica.org/super. This is a super opportunity, and it's brought to you by Merit America.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Blue and Gold fans, let's get engaged. Cast your vote in our Expo online before every basketball game on Willard and Debs. Brought to you by Shaneco, your friend and jeweler, where you'll find the Bay Area's best selection of unique engagement rings and their unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit Shaneco today.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
All guests on 95.7 The Game appear on the River Islands guest line.
Dub Nation, this is Jimmy Butler, and you never know when I'll be on the River Islands guest line.
Dub Nation, this is Stephen Curry, and you never know when I'll be on the River Islands guest line. So make sure to keep it locked on 95.7 The Game.
River Islands in Lathrop is the best-selling master plan community in all of Northern California. With its lakes, parks, trails, and collection of new home neighborhoods, the good life can be your life. Isn't it time for you to discover the islands?
It's about time pros had one partner for every part of the job. Simple ordering, fast delivery, continuous support, all from one partner. The Home Depot delivers supplies on your schedule. Our pro team helps you plan ahead so projects run smoother. And with Pro Extra benefits, you can simplify ordering, track spending, and save time every step of the way. Because with one partner, you get more than materials, you keep your job moving. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them, and you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larder, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, now streaming, only on Paramount Plus.
I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. I slept in a lot of different rooms, but none of them really felt like mine.
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a permanent home.
Now I have my own room, a place that's mine, and a family who loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
All right, Evan Giddings, Hall of Fame nominee Lorenzo Neal with you, taking up until kickoff between the Niners and the Cardinals. Brock Purdy makes his return. Ricky Pearsall is back after 6 weeks. The Niners have a chance to move 3 games above 500, keep themselves in potential striking distance for the division, and obviously get back into the postseason picture. So that's what they're looking at today. And, you know, just looking across the league, like Brock Purdy's coming back. He's got the turf toe. Is there any part of you, Lo, that is a bit worried because of what happened in Week 4 against Jacksonville?
Wow, he struggled, and he struggled mightily. How are you going to change that? And one of the reasons is not to be behind by a lot and keep the game close, and start by maybe running the ball. It's going to be interesting to see what Shanahan has in his dirty dozen. How Shanahan starts this game off. What are some of the things he's trying to do to make Brock Purdy feel good? To understand, hey, look, you're back. You're our starter. Hey, let's go. Let's go down and score. You know how he likes to score on his first drive. What does Shanny have up his sleeve? How well can Brock Purdy execute it? Look for a little bubble screen. Look for the quick getting the ball out of his hands quick on first down. Just to say, hey, let him settle in. Because you don't want to necessarily, hey, have this guy maybe look shooting for the fences right away. And I think that's what I'm looking. I'm looking to see what Shanahan in the offense, what he has to ease Brock in and to get him back on the horse. Because 6-7 weeks, even though you've been practicing last several weeks, some plays, limited amount of plays, it's different than game speed. So it's going to be interesting what Shanahan's called in that dirty dozen.
Well, here's what Greg Cosell of NFL Films had to say to Willard and Dibbs about how the potential return of Purdy and Pearsall can impact this 49ers offense.
They still haven't been able to run the ball with any consistency. They're really a sustaining offense. Think of it this way. Because they don't get a lot of big plays in the pass game, and certainly without Pearsall, without Ayuk, they don't get a lot of big plays in the pass game. For instance, this past week, the longest pass play was 22 yards, and that came at the end of the first half. So they don't really get big plays in the pass game for the most part. So if you're not going to get that, you need your run game to be sustaining. So in an ideal world, Purdy, who I think is a little more of an aggressive thrower than Mac Jones, we'll see if he pushes it down the field. Obviously, it depends on the play calls, too. I'm sure Kyle knows that Purdy's a little more aggressive by nature. If Ricky Pearsall is at full health and goes this week, he does have vertical ability, more so than any other receiver that they put out there now. So ideally, you'll at least have some shots down the field. If you hit one or two of them, obviously those can be game changers.
Well, and that was one thing that I noticed against the Rams is, Mac Jones has been highly accurate, very efficient, but there hasn't been a whole lot of aggression. And while that has gotten Brock Purdy into trouble, it does feel like, Lo, that his return means, all right, now we can push the ball down the field a little bit more.
You can, but do you see the long ball being pushed on any team 5, 6, 7 times a game? Do you see it? What's the percentage? See, you also got to calculate in your percentage. And if I miss on those big shots or if something happens, it's breakdown. Because if the long ball was big, this isn't Randy Moss. This isn't Randy Moss. And what was the quarterback at the time? They lit it up. The 17 touch. I mean, they were just
Cunningham?
Him and Randy Cunningham. And shoot, I remember playing against them when I was in Tampa. And they would just light it up. They were just throwing bombs away. And he and Brady, the same thing. You don't have that here. So when you do that, and it's the percentage goes down. So, yes, can you push the ball downfield more? Yes. But you have a struggling defense at times and shown a little more, not at times, but even more often than none. So am I going to put my defense in a compromising position by going 3 and out, throwing the long ball, and being aggressive to say, oh, my goodness, now my defense is out there on the field, a young defense, a defense that, have a lot of mental breakdowns. They have some lapses at time. And like you were saying, or do I try to say, okay, get rid of the ball, keep moving the sticks, can have some success running the ball? Because you can't, this is not the Niner team of old where you can line up and say, we're going to run the ball 40, 50 times. You have to throw the ball because your offensive line is not as good as a run blocking team. You have some deficiencies, so it's just going to be interesting. Shanahan's got to push the ball down the field. I get that, but it's when does he do it? It's got to be the opportune time and when they least expect it, because you want your percentage to be high because of the fact you do have a struggling defense.
Well, and I wonder, too, with Purdy, I think the biggest question is his legs. It's not that he's got a bigger arm than Mac Jones. It's not that he's taller, faster, stronger. Well, he's faster, but bigger and stronger. It's the fact that he can use his legs to get out of danger, and he's able to extend plays. He can make off-script kinds of throws. And Mac Jones had a couple, but that's where Brock Purdy tends to excel. So, my biggest question is, does Kyle Shanahan want him to go full out in his first game? Does he want him to be does he want him to go full Fran Tarkenton in game 1, back off the turf toe? I'm not so sure. I think this is a game where, at least early on, I think you're going to see Kyle Shanahan protect his quarterback a little bit by getting the ball out quick, trying to run the football. And also, to your point, too, that means the defense doesn't have to be on the field as much. But I expect Kyle Shanahan to kind of let Brock Purdy wade into this game. I'm not sure that, just because of the nature of the injury, that you can have him first drive. All right, we're rolling out with him. We want Brock Purdy to take off.
I think you're going to do that.
You are?
I think that you got to set the tone. But if they don't, no disrespect. I totally understand what you're saying. Protect him. I get that. But you can't. This is the National Football League. You can't because your team's not good enough. You can't because you got to make sure you get the ball in his hand. You can't because you know that your defense, you're going to, if he is so protected and he's not taking chances, your defense is going to still struggle. So what do? Look for him early to move the pocket. Say, okay, boom, let's let's hit Christian McCaffrey. Now let's boot him. Let's move the pocket, get him outside so he can become Brock S. He can see down the field. And I think you protect him by moving the pocket. I think you protect him by making the defense say, okay, we got to be honest. We got to still honor the run. Because when Brock Purdy is well, he's hell, especially with his legs. Like you alluded to, he can scramble, get out of position. So now if you boot him on the design boots where you run the ball, have success, now move the pocket. Kittle's dragging, got deep over the, Jennings down the middle. If you start doing certain things in Bourne, getting guys involved and move the pocket, now you have Brock become dangerous, become a two-way guy. He can throw the ball or he can run the ball. So I look for Shanahan, the opposite of that. I think that still protects him because you have him on the move. I think it still protects him because he's out of all the trees, the big lineman, because he's not as tall. So you move him outside and you let him see the field even more clear. So I think Shanahan's going to go that approach to kind of protect him.
Interesting. So you're saying that by getting Brock Purdy away from the pocket, you give him the choice of, well, I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take this hit, or I can just see the field a bit more clearly.
Absolutely. And to further that, it tells the defense, oh, we can't just pin our ears back because this guy's going to take up. Brock Purdy can hurt you with his feet and with his legs. And that's why I think they waited to say a healthy Brock Purdy is going to give us a great chance, because if the line has a deficiency, he can take off and pick up 10, 15 big yardage, chunk yardage. So what happens? Now teams have to pass rush and stay with integrity and stay in their lanes. When you have a quarterback that can run and move and do certain things, it's harder to sack him because of the fact the line can't just pin their ears back and get upfield. They have to stay in their lanes and stay integrity lanes and make sure you're on the same levels, because if you create those spaces and just run up the field, now he's gone. So I think it makes the defense less likely to they pressure rush, but they rush on the way to the quarterback, and now you have them not rushing as hard because he is a lot more mobile than Jones was.
Yeah, and I think, look, too, the Niners have, to Cosell's point earlier, they have not had an efficient running game for the majority of the season. They've had a couple of games where they've had over 100 yards on the ground. They've had, or a 100-yard rusher, I should say. It's really been because of Christian McCaffrey. I also do wonder how this offense is going to look, because we didn't get to see Brock Purdy a ton last season with Christian McCaffrey. We know what happens when Brock has to try and do it all by himself. He makes mistakes. Sometimes he puts the ball in harm's way. I think last year he tried to be Superman, and it didn't work out more often than not for the Niners. This year, in the one game that we really saw him healthy, I think you saw a nice combination of, okay, what Brock Purdy can and will do against a Seattle defense in Seattle. The Jacksonville game, I don't think he was right. And you saw it on some of the throws. You saw it in some of his runs. I'm looking to see Lowe today how much he trusts the toe. And honestly, just if we're going to see him rip it the way we did week 1 compared to week 4.
Yeah, I think he trusts the toe. I think Shanahan trusts the toe, because Shanahan wouldn't play him this game. You got to realize,
he held him out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, you held this man out for 6 weeks. He's more than ready to go, because you knew that he played several weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, when he played against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They brought him back into their demise. He stunk it up. No, I'm just.
No, he did.
No, and he'd tell you that he threw the interceptions. It cost him the game. But guess what? So they said, let's not rush him back. A part of that was on Shanahan. And Shanahan probably said, we probably shouldn't have rushed him back that way. And Brock Purdy's a warrior. He's a vicious warrior. He's going to go play. Brock Purdy's not, he wants to help his team. Brock Purdy's been ready to play for weeks. For weeks, Brock Purdy has been ready to play. And I think that and I think that's why even the Rams, he probably could have played. They're like, no, let's do one more week and let's let this guy come back in. If they didn't think he was ready to play, Shanahan wouldn't play him. I'm telling you, Shanahan wouldn't play him. There's too much at stake. Shanahan wouldn't play him. Brock Purdy is ready to play, and Brock Purdy is going to play well today.
How much do you think the opponent factors into this? Or do you think it doesn't at all? Like the fact that Brock Purdy, if he was, let's say last week he was at 90%. This week he's at 95%. That's more of the important part of this?
No, I think what you said, it's the latter of the two.
I mean, personally, I'd rather bring him back against the Cardinals than the Rams.
Exactly. Why beat him up? Why take chances that you know you're playing against a better defense, a better offense, a better all-around team in the Rams? Why put him in through that? Let him come back, not with a layup. I'm not saying that this is a layup because this is going to be a tough game. They got Calais Campbell. You've seen that 37, 38 years old, still able to get it gone and play big. So Campbell's playing well. They got some guys up front that can cause some havoc. So I just think that this is a better landing spot for Brock Purdy, and I think Brock Purdy is going to be able to move. And I think if you set the over and under at 20 yards or 17 yards, if you said 17, I would take that over, rushing yards. I think Brock Purdy will run and will scramble and will pick up 1 to 2 first downs, and he'll have over 17 yards rushing because it's in his DNA. And he's going to there is going to be a breakdown in coverage. There's going to be a breakdown up front, and he's going to scramble, and he's going to be Brock Purdy. And yes, he is ready to come back. He could have came back last week. They gave him 6 weeks to get healed. This guy is not even taking a shot, maybe not even taking a Toradol shot. So he's gotten some rest. They've taken him off this. He'll still tape it up and do some things, but I think he's going to be fine, and I think he's going to play, and I think he plays well.
Yeah, I mean, I think, too, there was an extra amount of caution just because of the result in Jacksonville. And the one thing that, I don't know if 49ers fans are necessarily, scared or kind of nervous about it, but just a repeat. I don't think that Kyle Shanahan would be one to let that happen a second time. If it does happen a second time, I think, to me, I'm not necessarily looking at I'm not looking at the quarterback. I'd be looking at the head coach. And I think his medical staff, he might have even gone to them over the last couple of weeks and gone, okay, he can play? That's fine. Let me know when he's as close to 100% as humanly possible, because the one thing that you can't have happen is Brock Purdy come back. If he injures another part of his body, that is, God forbid that happens, but that's understandable. The one thing that can't happen the rest of the season to Brock Purdy is this turf toe flares up again.
Yeah, and I think that Kyle Shanahan realized that. I think that it may flare up, and he'll take the shot the rest of the year, and he can still get treatment after. He's going to ice this thing after the game. This guy will be in ice, and he will have treatment after this game, guarantee it. If you got the turf toe, as well as I know about this turf toe, he will get treatment this week, and he's continuing to get treatment. Even when he feels well and he feels well and he's hell, he's still treating his foot. You have to do that. It's continued maintenance. So even though if he gets out of this game, he's like, oh, I feel okay. They're going to say, nope, let's ice it. They're going to stem it. They'll do those things because you want to keep fresh blood circulating in that area. I know that Kyle Shanahan wouldn't have this guy rush this guy back. We knew it after that Jacksonville game, and the way that he played, the way that Brock Purdy played in that Jacksonville game, Shanahan probably said, that's on me. I shouldn't have been so eager to get this guy back. We had Mac Jones, who was holding it down, played well. Mac Jones held Brock Purdy on the sidelines. Mac Jones kept him on the bench. Mac Jones helped him get prepared. I'll tell you, at the end of the year, Brock Purdy should give him either a bonus or buy him a car or do something nice for him, take him to dinner, because of the fact he allowed him not to rush back. And I say it with tongue in cheek because of the fact if you didn't have a guy like Mac Jones, a capable quarterback, Brock Purdy would have been playing weeks ago.
You think so?
I know so. If you got a guy like that and what he brings to the table and what Brock can do, you want to get this guy in the game. But when you saw Mac Jones and he played in his command of the offense and the way the team were, kind of circled and rallied around Mac Jones, that allowed, you heard them say, Brock Purdy 3 weeks ago went to practice, 4 weeks at practice, 2 weeks ago practicing, doing certain things, already running around. You've been hearing this for weeks that he's involved. But because of Mac Jones' ability to play and lead, they're like, why rush this thing? You ran into the Rams, ran into a buzzsaw, beat you up. So this was a nice landing spot to say, let's go ahead and make this transition. Because I'm going to tell you right now, sure as Monday come after Sunday, Mac Jones would still be playing if they would have beat the Rams.
That I agree with. And that's what we were talking about last week, is that if, in a way, if you'd beaten the Rams, you almost might have had to stick with Mac for the rest of the season. That's how big of a win to me
no question
that was. All right, here's Brock Purdy. He was asked about earlier this week if playing in that Jacksonville game was a mistake.
Playing against Jacksonville, was that a mistake?
No. That going into that week, I felt good. I really did, and I thought I was going to be good to go. I just unfortunately got caught in a bad position with my toe again, and just re-aggravated it. And so that's sort of just what happened. And looking back on it, man, like, you know, I'm a competitor. I want to go out and lead, and I felt good throughout the week to be able to go out and lead our guys to win and play good quarterback. And it's just unfortunate I got caught in that position.
Well, he doesn't think it's a mistake, and I appreciate that sentiment. It was a mistake because he got hurt, and he ended up missing 6 weeks as a result of it.
Yeah, he got hurt, missed 6 weeks because of it, and he didn't play well. He turned the ball over several times, 2 picks, 2 turnovers, and it cost his team. Fumbled the ball, didn't take care of the ball. Remember, stripped some fumble, had an opportunity to win that game. The defense was playing well. They played well enough to win that ball game. So he hurt this team. And does he feel like he should have played? Of course. Every competitor is going to say that. Look, he sat on the bench from that point on and just got better and got healthy. And so you look at it now, it's like, wow, here's a guy now that's taking his licks. He's ready for this transition. He's going to be out. He's going to be assertive. But you could be right now, 7-2 in a different situation, but you're not. So now, guess what? How do you get rid of those bad tastes, those bad memories? Go out and put a win on. Go win these next 3 games. Put this team in position. Go on a run right here. Take this team to 9-3, and you're sitting good, and you're going to be good with the fans. You're going to be good with themselves. You have an opportunity right now, you know, to go ahead as Brock Purdy to lead this team, to take command back of this team, to ease in this game, to do what you know you need to do. You got 3 teams that on the docket that's in 1, 2, 3 in a row. You know, the Panthers, you know, the Browns, Arizona. You can win these games. These are all winnable games, and you will be favored in every one of these games. And you're playing them, you know, and you're playing better football than these teams. So I like it. I love it. And I think that today you'll see Brock Purdy play, and he'll play well.
888-957-9570 is the number. This is the kickoff show with Evan Giddings and Hall of Fame nominee Lorenzo Neal. What are you expecting from Brock Purdy today? Call in, let us know, text in. We'll read your messages. What are you expecting from Brock Purdy today? Do you expect him to look like the guy from Week 4, the guy from Week 1, the guy from last season, a brand new Brock? What are you expecting today from the quarterback position for the San Francisco 49ers? Let's go out to Phil Mo Mike. Phil Mo, what's going on, man? How we doing? Good morning.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Happy Sunday. Happy blessed Sunday, man. Lorenzo Neal, they better put you in the Hall of Fame or I'm going to knock somebody out. Nah,
I love you, man. That's too funny, bro.
We can't be doing that on Sunday.
Nah, we can't do that. We got to be praying for him on Sunday, baby. We got to pray for him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, but I think Brock, hopefully, he don't try to come out with a lot to prove. Hopefully he just plays his game. He's had a lot of time to sit on his butt cheeks. And so hopefully he's been watching, seeing what works, right, and seeing what doesn't work. I think some of the things, and when you're playing in the game sometimes, especially when you're a young player, people got to remember, Brock Purdy's he's a young player. He's been through a lot of heights, right, within his career, but he's still a young player. Sometimes just sitting down and just open up the things for you, especially he seems like he's probably at that year where, you know, things start to slow down for you. So hopefully I really pray and hope that he don't go in there and just try to do too much, improve too much. And I love that point you made earlier in which I was kind of agreeing with Evan in regards to, you know, they're going to try to keep him safe. But then, you were like, you know, scratch that. They're not going to try to keep him safe. They're going to try to, you know, see what he can do and just let him play his game. And so, like, if he does that, I feel like if he does that, he don't try to do too much, I think we're going to have a great game. Plus, he's coming back home to his home state in Arizona. So, hopefully, you know, we have a good game. Bang, bang, Niner game.
No doubt, Phil Mo. Thanks for the call, man. Yeah, hopefully we'll be talking to you on Victory Monday tomorrow. And,
I like it.
And, Brock Purdy's going back to his home state. Ricky Pearsall is also going back to his home state. The Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers coming up at 1 o'clock. We got you until then on the kickoff show. Also a reminder that later on this afternoon, the Warriors do play indeed. Yes, they do. Later on tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. That game at 4 o'clock. Mark Grandy will have pre and post for you here on 95.7 The Game, Warriors Live and Warriors Wrap-Up. So keep that locked right here, all ahead on 95.7 The Game. In the meantime, the kickoff show continues with Lowe, with Giddings. We're back after this.
Wow, look at these Black Friday deals on TVs. Samsung, Sony, and LG at the lowest prices of the year, even on their top-rated models. Now we can get that top-rated Samsung we were thinking about, but we'll need to get up early on Friday.
These are great deals, but why wait? Video Only has all these deals right now. We can get what we want today, and they're even offering no-interest financing.
So we can get these Black Friday deals right now at Video Only and pay it off later?
Yep, and many of their prices are better than those flyers.
Better than Black Friday? No wonder Video Only got those high scores when they rated TV stores. Let's head over now and beat the crowds.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, soundbars, and home theater systems. Shop around, but then make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry. In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael.
Video Only.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
If you need up to $5,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com is the name you can trust. It's free to use, available 24/7, and you're never required to accept any loan offer. Some lenders offer same-day funding. If you need up to $5,000, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com has been helping customers for 15 years and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you need cash for credit card bills, car repairs, child care, or anything else, go to WeFixMoney.com. Make sure you type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. Go to the company you trust. WeFixMoney.com. Just fill in the information and get an answer in minutes at WeFixMoney.com. So if you need cash for up to $5,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. That's WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
It's Black Friday sale time at Big O Tires. Get the tires you want for less. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Pirelli, and more. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O branded tires. Hurry, sale ends December 7th. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details. You've got a big day.
So you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Stand-up comedian Tom Segura is coming back to the Bay Area with his Come Together tour. He'll be performing at the Paramount Theater in Oakland on November 30th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. For a chance to win your way into the show, enter online at 957thegame.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snugly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Okay, homeboy. Who on the beats today?
Yeah, so usually it's Cam Williams that is bringing Low a little bit of heat in the morning, but today we got Steven Risotto.
Steven Risotto's in the house. Introduce yourself. My name is Steven.
Dude, I got to be on my A game for Low Neal today.
Boss is one of the hardest working guys here at the station. He was here on Friday night. He was here yesterday morning. He's here again on Sunday, and he's probably going to be here up until midnight, right, Pasta?
That's right.
Just midnight. Just midnight
tonight. So the Niners are getting set to play the Cardinals. This is the kickoff show, obviously, with Giddings, Lorenzo, Neal. We got 1 hour left until the Niners and the Cardinals go toe-to-toe in Glendale. You know, but it's funny. We're watching a lot of these games in the 10 a.m. slate, and you make this remark about Baker Mayfield, which I think it's so accurate. He's just a warrior. And it has me thinking about a lot of these quarterbacks around the league, including, I would say, Mac Jones. I think what Mac Jones proved the last 6 weeks during Brock Purdy's absence, and the previous two, because he obviously won against Seattle, won against Arizona before Brock came back and re-aggravated his toe.
Right.
Mac Jones is one of those guys that, you know, is he as good as Baker Mayfield? No, but he's got that kind of that warrior, that characteristic, that fighter in him. And that's why, you know, you mentioned Jacoby Brissett as someone who no longer has aspirations to be a starter. Mac Jones is still in that gray space, right? I think there's going to be some team next year, or maybe the year after because he's under contract with the Niners. There's going to be some team that is going to give him a shot, and it's because of what he proved this year.
No question. I think he's great trade bait for the Niners. If you can go and get a quarterback or, you know, find someone that you feel that's comparable, I think the Niners this next year, you're going to have to overhaul that defense. You got to go get some guys on that defense that can be able to play that's solid. You don't necessarily have those guys, in my opinion, there. You have a good defense. I mean, not a good defense. You have some guys at spots, but you got to upgrade. You're going to upgrade. So I think he's going to be a great trade piece. I think he can go back and start in this league. And I think Brissett is just a guy that I think the Arizona Cardinals, if they don't get their guy, get a Manning or whoever's going to be some quarterbacks, it depends on where they're at. I think that he comes in as a starting quarterback. I think that Brissett's a stopgap type of guy till you go get your guys. I think that Mac Jones, I think the verdict is not out. I think that if you look at both these guys, Brissett and Mac has had opportunities to start in this league. And you've seen Jones has been to a playoff. Mac Jones has been to a playoff. He has won games. So I think that he's a guy that you got to say, do we take a flyer? Do we look at him? Do you say, can he play into what you've seen from him? If you go back and watch the games this year as Mac became the starter, and go watch in his decision-making, his ability to move the chains, watch his command, what his reads are, where he knows where to go with the ball, where's the hot read. I think he's played, I think you got to give him a strong B, A. It's between a B plus and an A. Great. Just watch his mechanics. Watch where he's going with the ball. Watch how he dissects it. Look how he sees the field. Look how he gets the guys involved. I think it's hard not to give this guy a B or an A for what he's done thus far. So that's why I'm saying he is going to have an opportunity to start in this league. You look at Daniel Jones. Here's a guy that got left, ran out of New York, been to a playoff, similar road, won some games. Then he gets run out of New York, goes to Indianapolis, beats out a first-round pick, puts him on the bench, takes his team, and now running with him. And I think he has way more talent. And to be fair and balanced, Daniel Jones has done a great job in Indianapolis. Coach, some say that maybe the best team in AFC, maybe one or two. But look at the weapons that he has. Look at where Daniel Jones is dealing with the defense, the offensive line, the running, all the things that he has at his disposal. It's way more than Mac Jones, in my opinion. Way more.
I agree. And that's why, I'm looking around at the rest of the league. And while I don't think that Mac Jones is kind of like a future Sam Darnold story, or maybe even a Baker Mayfield story, who was number one pick, kind of bounced around spots, found his place in Tampa, somebody is going to give him a shot because of what he proved this season. And it also, I don't know how you feel about this, Lo, but what they've got for Mac Jones, not to say that someone else could come in and do what he's done, but if the Niners were to use him as trade bait this upcoming summer, and let's say you could get a second-round pick for him, I think, number one, that would help you invest in creating a better, younger defense, which is kind of the direction you're going in anyways. Maybe use it to draft an offensive lineman, which is a position of need for you as well. But I also think that because of what Kyle Shanahan has done, now not with one, but two backup quarterbacks, Sam Darnold is clearly, he found what he needed in San Francisco.
No question.
Mac Jones is back on the right track. If you're a quarterback around the Niners can kind of take their pick of the litter as far as guys who have maybe fallen off the beaten path, who are on the backup track. I think there's a lot of quarterbacks, whether they're young, whether they're, kind of recycled. There's a lot of guys that are going to look at San Francisco and say, that's a place that I want to go play. So I think the Niners, even if they were to lose Mac Jones this upcoming summer, maybe they bring him back because he's under contract. But if they don't, I don't think it's going to be too hard for them to find another quality backup.
Nor do I, because you watch the resurrection of quarterbacks here in San Francisco under Kyle Shanahan's tutelage and mentorship. It's been unbelievable, second to none. If you go look at it, the success that these guys are having in his offense and just being under him as a protege, he has merit that to be called the quarterback whisperer. So I think that Mac Jones is going to bring you a value. I think with the 49ers, the way the cupboards are, in my opinion, I got the Raiders on the phone. I got some people on the phone that you can look and say, what would you give for this guy? I mean, he's a guy that can go a lot of places and be a very, very serviceable backup, but also be a starter for some teams. There's a handful of teams right now that Mac Jones is outplaying their quarterbacks. So I think that, like you just alluded to, the 49ers, if they were to move on, not necessarily move on, but to say, hey, we're not moving on, but the value you have created, hey, we're going to get a second round for you. It's no way that right now Mac Jones is not a second or a third round draft. You can easily get a second or a third for him because that's the kind of value that he is. That's what he demands because of what he's done this year. And I think what we realize and what we're failing to realize, Mac Jones has done it with less. That's the thing that I think that people aren't realizing what he's been able to do. He's done it with less, and he's been very, very successful.
Well, that's why if you are the Raiders, if you are Cleveland, if you are even a team maybe like Minnesota, who's still trying to figure out what to do with their rookie quarterback, there's a few teams out there, Lo, that similar to the Daniel Jones situation. Daniel Jones originally was maybe not thought of as being the surefire starter,
right.
But Anthony Richardson just didn't have the goods. That was a guy they spent a top 5 pick on, but he just didn't have it.
Arizona's
absolutely. Right. So, like, there are teams out there, maybe the New York Giants, if they're trying to figure out their quarterback situation. There are teams out there that I think could use Mac Jones, certainly more than one, that are still maybe either looking for a quarterback, going to draft a quarterback, or have some questions about their own quarterback.
Coach, there's just more than teams than that. I'm surprised you didn't mention the Jets. I'm surprised you didn't mention the Steelers, because Aaron Rodgers, let's face it, he's done after this year. He's been cooked. I mean, he's getting hit. He's getting hurt. The guy's getting beat up. He's 40-some years old, still playing well. I don't see Aaron Rodgers coming back next year. I don't see this guy playing another year, but it's a short term. So who's the Steelers backup? Mason Rudolph. You don't think that Mike Jones, Mac Jones is not better than Mason Rudolph? Please give me a break. This guy has shown his ability to lead a team and do it with less receivers, do it with, do it on a team that doesn't have the necessary defense and still able to go out and play as well as he is. I think without a doubt he's going to be a trade value to this organization if they decide to go in a new direction to beef up their defense or beef up their offense. But today, it's clearly about who the future is on this team. We know, we asked about it last week, the week before, last 6 weeks. It's been a big debate. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? When do you go back to Brock Purdy? When do you go back with him? Everyone was like, look, he's got to lose a game. You can't just pull him. They lost. The other day, you lost to probably the best team in the NFL, the Rams, and you pulled him. And it wasn't because he didn't play well, threw for over 300 yards against the team, and it wasn't in garbage time. It was he did that in crucial times when the games was still in the ballot, not yet in the ballot. So I think we know that whose this team is. It's back in the hands of Brock Purdy, and today's going to just be a big test. It's going to be a test for Purdy to go out and command this offense, command this team, pick up the mantle where he left off, and play well and get this team back knowing that, hey, Purdy, I am the man. Quick as you do that, you have some plays, have some success, he's going to be fired up. Let him throw a touchdown. Watch Purdy. He's going to be fired up. The team's going to be fired up. I think this is a big-time game today for the morale and for the success for this team. This game here, in my opinion, I know every game's big. This game determines if they go to the playoffs. You lose this game, you're not going to the playoffs. I'm just going to tell you. This team will not get in the playoffs if they don't win this game.
Number one, I think mathematically becomes a lot tougher to do, but also if you can't beat a team like the Cardinals, I'm with you. Yeah. You got to prove that you got enough of the goods to beat a team like Arizona, a team that, yes, they played you tough back in week 3, but that's a team that you should be able to handle. I'm with you.
I agree, and not just that. Just to add on, let me tell you another team that doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. That I thought would be a lot better, and it comes down to us offensively. Their defense is playing lights out. That's the Green Bay Packers. Their offense is dismal. They've been losing to some layup teams. I don't think if the way they play, I don't think that they're getting in the playoffs. I really don't.
And right now, they're the team just ahead of the 49ers because they have the one tie as opposed to a loss in that column. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. Kickoff show here with Evan alongside Lowe. And, kind of talking about what you're expecting today from Brock Purdy, what you're expecting potentially from the quarterback situation. I think that the Niners are going to get a glimpse at their future. They obviously married this guy over the summer. Not to say that he'll fulfill all 5 years of the contract, but this was the guy they chose. And I, for one, am happy to see him back under center today against Arizona after a 6-week absence, and happy to see how close to 100% he really is, because I don't think that Kyle Shanahan would put him out there unless he thought he was damn close. Brock Purdy talked about that as well. I want to get to that in a sec, but before we do, let's bring in RJ, who's in Fairfield, wants to get in on the conversation. RJ, good morning, man. What's going on?
Good morning. I find it funny how Kyle Shanahan could develop a backup QB and make him a starter in the league, but we can't develop Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy hit the ceiling. He's been, for the past games. If you look at the last game, he was probably the problem. He threw 2 picks in the Jags game. He barely won the Seahawks game. And if you go back to 2024, the last 3 games he played, he hasn't played good. He's been a declining QB for a long time, and I want the Niners to ride the hot hand, which is Mac Jones. I think Brock Purdy has a noodle arm. He lost his arm strength, and then Lowe. I appreciate you, man. I love the kind words about Brock Purdy, but I mean Brock Purdy's been hurting my feelings for a couple games. He hasn't looked the same for a while. So I mean, I'm just being real, guys.
No. I told you. I agree with you, bro. I said he lost that. I'm 1,000 in the same church, same pew as you are. I said he lost that Jacksonville game. I didn't make any excuses for him. And yes, I think that his best attributes is to get him outside the pocket, look for it today, them to move the pocket, let him get outside where he can see the field. He's not necessarily the greatest inside the pocket because he can't see over and can't throw great accurate passes to the middle of the field because he can't see. So I think that you move him, you do certain things with him. But Brock Purdy is a better scrambler. He has more mobility than Mac Jones. I do believe that Mac Jones was the hot hand and played very, very well. So I same church on that. I think Mac Jones have earned the right to start, but you just invested over $200 million. You have to go ahead and give this guy an opportunity to ride it out.
Right. Okay, but okay, that's great. I'm just hoping we made the right decision paying this man because next thing I know, we trade Mac away and then we're stuck with Brock Purdy trying to find another QB. As a Niners fan, I'm tired of this QB carousel. I want a quarterback. I've been waiting for a quarterback, and we've just been shuffling. We have a quarterback for 3-4 years, and they're out the door. But, we're going to see this, guys. I'm rooting for Brock Purdy. I hope he does good. But, I've been somebody that's just been hurt for a couple games, man. I'm trying to, we'll see. I appreciate y'all.
I got you, RJ, no doubt. No, I think RJ speaks for some fans, Lo, that they still got questions. They still got questions about the guy. And it sounds like it's as much about the decision to keep him long-term as it is the decision, like today, to bring him back. People are worried about the future. But obviously they're hopeful that today Brock Purdy can get back on track.
Yeah, they're very hopeful that he can get back on track. And look, the caller made some very valid points. Brock Purdy, last year was not good, and he'll tell you it was not good. It was hopefully it was a one-off year, but hell, Brady's had an off year. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that at times have struggled. It's going to be interesting though because he is a shorter guy in stature. He is, he has there's some limitations, but can he be the next Drew Brees? 6'1", 6 foot, can to make it happen and become a Hall of Fame type of career? I don't know. I think that he wants to be great. I think that year that he came in and played as well as he did and took him to the NFC Championship game and his shoulder goes out. The following year, he picks up where he left off, takes them to a Super Bowl, one play away from winning the Super Bowl. He didn't lose that game. No one blocked. They would have won that. And then last year he had the off year. So do we run him because of 1 year? I just think that you have to let it play off and it play out. But I do understand the callers, like sometimes the frustration. So I get it. But you have to realize he's give him time, give him the right weapons, give him other weapons, secure the offensive line, get a better defense, and we'll see where this guy is going, how good he can be. Do I think he's Patrick Mahomes? No. Do I think this guy's Josh Allen? No. But you know what? I think he's a serviceable, and I think he's a quarterback. He was up for MVP of the league. He had some amazing numbers. We can't just throw that away and say he didn't. Can't just say when he went to the NFC Championship game that mean nothing in his shoulder when he's got the elbow jacked up. So he's had some solid performance and some solid years. Yes. Could he be better? Yes. And has he probably reached his ceiling? I don't think so. I think that he's young enough that this guy still can become more of a student of the game and still can become a better quarterback. So I'm not saying he's a top 5 quarterback by no stretch of imagination, but is Mac Jones the guy that you say, okay, is going to be the starter and surpass Purdy? I don't think you can just give him the job, even though he's played well. I think, hey, look, you invested in this guy, and hopefully in a couple of years we're not saying should have stayed with Mac Jones.
No, and I for me that kind of thought process, to me, is because of Sam Darnold. I think the guy that everyone may have looked back and said we missed, we should have got this dude, was Sam Darnold. I don't think Mac Jones is that caliber of quarterback, though, just because the physical tools were always there for Sam Darnold. He's big. He's got a rocket arm. He can let it rip. He can run. He can do all of those physical things, but upstairs it just never clicked when he was in New York, when he was in Carolina, and then he gets to San Francisco and now goes on to Minnesota, does well. Seattle looks like he's going to have another successful season. I don't think it's the same situation with Mac Jones that you're going to be regretting inevitably letting him walk or go somewhere else.
Yeah, and not to add to that, Sam Darnold was here 2-3 years ago, and no one was calling for him over Purdy.
No.
And he held him off, and then the next year, Sam goes to Minnesota, and someone gets hurt, and he takes over. See, I'm a huge believer in understanding the way football works and the way life works. My dad told me a long time, he said, son, opportunity isn't lost, never lost. It's just given to someone else. And when you think about Sam Darnold, the opportunity came for him, and he took advantage and seized it. And unfortunately, now you look at Minnesota, they're struggling. Got a young quarterback, rookie, put a lot of draft capital on him, first round last year when Darnold was on the team, he got injured. Darnold held him off the whole year. He probably could have played, but they said no because Darnold was the hot hand. Sam Darnold said, what did he say? You listen to his presser. He said, I learned so much from Shanahan, but he said I also learned so much from Brock Purdy. He learned from a younger guy how to film study. If you listen at the words that Sam Darnold and the praise that he gave Brock Purdy, that's what lets me know that this guy wants to be great. He has what it takes. He's doing those small things to better his game. So I can't ever doubt Purdy's preparation, his attention to details, because Sam Darnold echoed that. Sam Darnold said, I wouldn't be the player if it wasn't for Purdy. Those are high praises. That's not hyperbole. So when you think about now, look at Sam Darnold in Seattle, because he knows how to study. He knows what to do. He knows what he's looking for. Not that he didn't have it. He just needed to be taught. And so now you look at where he's at. And so that's what I'm saying. Where am I going with this? I'm going to the place that you said. You have a quarterback that wants to be great. You have a quarterback that is attention to detail. The San Francisco 49ers have a quarterback that is always going to be prepared. Now it's up to his body and his athletic ability to have him deliver what he knows upstairs, because Brock Purdy has it upstairs. It's a matter of, can he execute what he has upstairs? And we have seen a year where this guy should have been and could have been the MVP of the league.
Well, and I think he's going to remind that today. He's going to remind us of that today. I think that Brock Purdy, look, this is a game where it's more of a soft landing, certainly, than last week. You didn't have to step back in and play the Rams. If he just simply reemerges as the quarterback that is careful with the ball, can use his legs to extend some drives, if he plays within himself, number one, I think the Niners win this football game. And number two, I think he restores some faith from a lot of the RJs. And not to say that RJ's concerns aren't fair. I totally understand it. But to me, the reason why they married this guy is as much because of what they see behind the scenes as what they see on the field. Right. Like, this guy is, I've only had the opportunity to be in some of those interviews with him a few times, but there is something charismatic about him. You know, he's soft-spoken, he's quiet, but he's a leader. And I think the Niners, I think it's also one reason, Lo, why you always heard Mac Jones say, this is Brock's team. I'm the backup. It's my job to come in and pick up Brock while he's down, to keep us in a position to get to the postseason. And then when Brock Purdy's healthy, which he now is on November 16th, then he can be the guy to push us to the promised land. But it's as much as it is about Mac Jones, I think, being a pro, as it is about Brock Purdy also being a leader. All right, on the other side, we're going to go through a couple of the morning games, get to the afternoon games, and obviously break down, give you our final predictions for the 49ers and the Cardinals. Brock Purdy makes his return. Ricky Pearsall is back as well for San Francisco. 6-4, a chance to move to 7-4 with a win in Glendale against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals. This is the kickoff show. Evan Giddings, Hall of Fame nominee Lorenzo Neal back after this on 95.7 The Game.
Black Friday is coming, and that's the smart time to shop for a top-rated TV from Samsung, LG, or Sony. But why wait? You can get those Black Friday TV deals right now at Video Only, and then enjoy Thanksgiving with your new TV. Still want to wait? Then how about better than Black Friday deals? The top-rated TVs at stupid low prices. Check out Video Only now before the rush, or you'll be sorry.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
This is Larry Flick, owner of The Floor Store. The holidays are coming, but so is our pre-holiday sale. And that means everything in the store is 30% off. Not just some things, 30% off everything. Go to floorstores.com for directions. The Floor Store, your Bay Area flooring authority.
If you need up to $5,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com is the name you can trust. It's free to use, available 24/7, and you're never required to accept any loan offer. Some lenders offer same-day funding. If you need up to $5,000, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com has been helping customers for 15 years and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you need cash for credit card bills, car repairs, child care, or anything else, go to WeFixMoney.com. Make sure you type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. Go to the company you trust. WeFixMoney.com. Just fill in the information and get an answer in minutes at WeFixMoney.com. So if you need cash for up to $5,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. That's WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at LifeMD.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Confused on where to start with weight loss medication? 95% of LifeMD patients said starting their weight loss journey was simple. Go to TryLifeMD.com now and see the best options with or without insurance for Wegovy, Zepbound, and more. Brian was approved for insurance coverage and lost 100 pounds.
I love the fact that insurance covered almost everything because pharmaceutical prices are going through the roof. The first time I realized that LifeMD was working for me was when the hunger started going away. I never thought losing weight would be this easy. It's given me more energy. I would recommend LifeMD to anybody.
Nearly 96% of patients said they would recommend the LifeMD program to anyone who wants to lose weight. Get started right now at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
95.7 The Game and Great Clips have teamed up for the new basketball season. We want our listeners to look fresh with a great haircut from Great Clips. Each week, we'll pick a lucky winner to score a gift card. For a chance to win, courtesy of Great Clips, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hey, this is Joe Shasky from 95.7 The Game. Want to hear something super? Well, Merit America wants to get you on the path to a super new high-paying career with free coaching and training. And the first step is a super job working at the super big game. Go to meritamerica.org/super and see how you can sign up for super career training in HR, logistics, data analysis, and much more for free. So go to meritamerica.org/super. This is a super opportunity, and it's brought to you by Merit America.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison. And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that. We will pack the car with gifts, and of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
All right, Brock Purdy makes his return after 6 weeks. Mac Jones and the Niners in position to push towards the postseason. With Brock Purdy now back at the helm, they're 6-4. They got the Cardinals today at 105 in Glendale, Arizona. Ricky Pearsall also returning. Meanwhile, on the Cardinals side, Low, they're missing a lot of guys. Marvin Harrison Jr. out with an illness. Their left tackle, Jonah Williams, out. Mac Wilson, linebacker, out. James Conner, obviously out for the season for them. Kyler Murray is hit IR. So it's pretty much Jacoby Brissett and crew. The defense has been playing better lately, but this is a Cardinals team that I know we talk a lot about the 49ers injuries. They might be even more compromised as far as injuries are concerned.
Yeah, and I think they're playing for now the bottom. I really believe that they're playing to see who's going to get to the bottom. They look at the Saints. You kind of go through and look at the different teams that are out there in the National Football League right now. Arizona's in a situation they're saying, hey, look, we got to build. And I think that they've pushed reset. I think that Kyler Murray's going to be a guy they owe some money to, and that's why they gave him only 160, which is a lot, 170, whatever it was. But they talked about him playing PlayStation and doing this stuff. They wondered about how committed was to football. They shut him down this year. Why they shut him down this year? When it wasn't a career-ending injury or wasn't a long injury, why they put him on that? Why they shut him down? Let me tell you why. They didn't want him getting hurt. They knew that they would be subject to this contract. It's already the cards are already in the making. The cards have already been drawn. Kyler Murray will not be an Arizona Cardinal next year, and he probably knows that. So it's like, hey, look, let's lose, and they're going to let Brissett let him play it out. He's going to play hard, and this is the deal. Coaches don't say we're going to lose this game. They're not trying to lose games. But the front office is saying, look, guys, go out there, play as hard as you can, but we're going to go in a new direction. Front office is like, they're hoping they lose because they want to make sure they get a game changer, an unbelievable pass rusher, unbelievable quarterback, another receiver. They are going to build in the draft And I think that you've seen the last of Kyler Murray. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Niners can do, because you got one team that's striving, trying to show that they have young guys that are trying to make a name with Robert Saleh in this defense. You have an offense that's just bringing back Brock Purdy, your future, your quarterback, your face of your franchise that you've been committed to. So you have one team that's trying to ascend after getting beat up last week, and you have another team that's just saying, do we really want to play? We're going to play hard, but what's really there? How hard are they really going to play after the first hit? Are you down by 14? You've seen the last couple weeks they've been blown out. They played a Dallas team that we don't know who Dallas is. The Cowboys, they have it's a mess over there too. I don't think Arizona believes they're going to the playoffs. I think that one team is playing to try to get in the playoffs that's still trying to stay in the thick of things. Another team's playing just for pride. And I think the team that's playing for pride is Arizona Cardinals, and the team that's playing to try to get in the playoffs or try to go through history and show people that we're good enough and they're still trying to search for the identity, that's the San Francisco 49ers today.
And I think the guy who's coming back who's under center for the Niners, he is also playing with a little something to prove. Brock Purdy is a competitor. I think he's more of a fiery individual than he lets on. And he knows that he didn't play well the last time he stepped on the gridiron. He knows that he cost the Niners that game against Jacksonville. And so I think he also has something to prove. This was earlier in the week, but he was asked if there was a part of him that felt like he had to get back out there because of how well Mac Jones was playing. This is his answer, and then I got some thoughts on it on the other side.
I mean, absolutely love Mac and what he's done, and he came in and played extremely well, man, and kept our team alive and moving and going. And so I appreciate him for that and just everything he's brought to our team. But for me, it's been, how do I feel physically? It has nothing to do with I need to get back out there for the political side of things. It's been all about how do I feel really good to go out and lead when I do get back. And so obviously it took 6 games, sadly, on the second side of things after re-aggravating it. But I want to be smart about this with my career and everything. But at the same time, I'm ready to roll, and we got 7 games ahead of us that I'm really excited about. So.
Yeah, it's not because of Mac. It's because he stunk it up the last time that he played football. I mean, that's why he wanted to get back out there.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, you cannot have the last time. Like the last impression of Brock Purdy was not a good one.
No.
I think in Seattle, he played very well, had a couple turnovers, but was good enough to win them that football game against what now we know to be a pretty damn good team.
Yeah.
And then Jacksonville was the complete opposite. So he wants to prove that he is the quarterback more from the Seattle game than the one we saw last time.
Yeah, and not only that, we know who put him in the game. The head coach said, okay, it's time to put you back in the game. So this is a situation clearly that this had nothing to do with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is starting today because the team said we're going back to him. He's starting today because Kyle Shanahan said, hey, look, we need to find a spot for this guy to put him back in the game and insert him back in our offense. And this just happens to be the week. They lost last week, and you can say, look, let's put him back in. And they know that he's ready. Kyle Shanahan would not be rushing this guy back if he wasn't ready to play football. They're putting him back in the game because he's ready to play football, and I think he's going to play well.
Yeah, I mean, and I think also getting Ricky Pearsall back is big for him as well. Pearsall's a guy that we have not talked about a lot of this season just because, well, really the amount of other injuries that have gone on for the Niners. They're as healthy as they've been for really the majority of this season. The last time we saw Ricky Pearsall was also the last time we saw Brock Purdy. And when Ricky Pearsall has been available, he's been pretty damn good. Last time he played the Cardinals, had 8 catches for 117 yards. Week 1 with Brock Purdy at Seattle, 4 catches for 108 yards. The big 45-yard catch on that final drive to help set up the Jake Tonjes touchdown. So the Niners, in addition to the Cardinals, to your point about kind of moving in the wrong direction, the Niners, while they won't have maximum health, you can't bring back Bosa, you can't bring back Warner, this is as healthy as they've been really since the beginning of the season. And while I feel like the whole year has just been about surviving and advancing and kind of getting to the next week and picking up as many wins as you can, now we get to see what this Niners team can become. I should say we get to see the highest ceiling of this Niners team because they're getting some of their big boys back.
Without a doubt, we get to see what the ceiling may look like. And I don't know if it's this week or next week or the week after. I hope it's this week and next week and the week after. I hope you consider to see strides in a positive direction. It's interesting to see what they do with Purdy this week because of the fact I do believe the run game can start to flourish and have more success with Purdy because of the fact now you can be able to run and move outside and move the pocket, run to the zones, do a lot of different things. I really believe that your run game will be better with Brock Purdy because of the fact the things that he can do with his feet.
I agree. And that brings us now with about 15 minutes left in the show. Again, 1 o'clock is when the Niners play the Cardinals. No overtime today with Grandy and Bennett, but Mark is going to have pregame for the Warriors and postgame Warriors Live and Warriors Wrap-Up coming up for you later on this afternoon.
Wow.
You're going to get all of your 49ers reaction tomorrow on Monday. Hopefully a victory Monday. But while we got some time left, Lo, I do want to go through some of these games currently in progress, then the 1 o'clock games, Sunday night, Monday night, and obviously end with the Niners and our final prediction. So right now, second half, there's been a lot that's been going on today. I think some really good games around the NFL. An NFC South showdown between the Falcons and the Panthers is where we start. Falcons right now up by 2 points, but the Panthers have the ball with about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is a game that I thought the Atlanta Falcons would win, the game they should win, but you got to realize the Carolina Panthers, they've been playing with vigor. They've been getting after some guys, and they've been playing some tough football. So that game's going to be interesting. I know it's still yet up in the ballot, but I still like the Falcons, the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is just a game that they have to win. Meanwhile, if you're the Panthers, if you can get this game, you go into a matchup next week on Monday night with the 49ers above 500 in a potential position to steal a postseason spot. All right, Tennessee and Houston real quick. The Titans, a team that is heading in the wrong direction. Meanwhile, Davis Mills is quarterback the Texans right now with the lead, 13-6, 5:50 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this was a game that I thought was going to be a little bit more one-sided. I thought the Houston Texans would win this game. I think the line was 7 or so. I just thought that the Texans would, be a double-digit win just because they're a better team, and I think Tennessee's just done.
Yeah, I think Tennessee is a team that, and the Niners are going to see them in a few weeks. That is not a team that has an intention of winning. All right, as for some of the more interesting games, an AFC North division matchup between Pittsburgh hosting Cincinnati, the Olden Bowl, right? You got Aaron Rodgers, who's actually hurt right now, against a 40-plus-year-old in Joe Flacco as well. Steelers leading 20-12 with 9:40 left in the fourth. This is a game I feel like the Steelers could use to get back on track, and the Bengals, unfortunately, because of the injury to Joe Burrow and another turf toe around the NFL, they're kind of in the middle of a lost season.
Yeah, they really are. When you think about where they're at and what can they do, I just think that Cincinnati's done. I think that you look at Joe Burrow, like you said, with the turf toe, and it's just I just think that this is going to be a tough year for them. Just it's I don't know if it's rebuilding because you have two great receivers and you have your quarterback. You just got to get better defensively and shore up some things. And this team, when you have Joe Burrow and the receivers they have, you're always going to be in game, though.
All right, and then in New York, the Giants are actually leading the Green Bay Packers, driving right now with the football with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You talked about it, and we were both high on the Packers coming into this season. That defense is all-world, but there's something missing. I don't know if it's the quarterback low. I don't know if it's the receivers. In many ways, their offense has been sort of similar to the Niners in that it's been all about the running back. For the Niners, it's Christian McCaffrey. For the Packers, it's Josh Jacobs. I think they're going to find a way to win this football game, but that's a football team that moving forward, it's really hard to trust.
You can't trust them. You're the Green Bay Packers, and you look at it just the way you've been playing with the inconsistency and up and down offensively. And then at times your defense is, you're letting the Giants put up 20 on you. I mean, I just don't see this team. I thought they were going to be a team that was going to be to reckon with because of all the things they do, bringing in especially Michael Parsons. I mean, the guy's unblockable. If you watch him, the way that he beats guys and the way that he's able to continue to get open, and he keeps able to pressure the quarterback and run things down, this team should be better than where they are. They're not. I'm not buying. I'm selling.
I'm with you. Also, real quick, to the 925 on the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. We're in studio today, Lo and I, because the Niners are on the road. We'll be back at Laughing Monk Brewing again coming up in Week 15, the next time we're hosting there when the Niners take on the Tennessee Titans. So make sure to get out there for the Monday night game against the Panthers next week. We'll be back at Laughing Monk Brewing Week 15, December 14th, 2 hours before the Titans at the 1 o'clock kick. So looking forward to that as well. All right. As far as the other games right now in progress, Minnesota hosting the Bears. Bears at 6-3. They kind of came back and stole one last week to catapult themselves to 3 games above 500. They're in a postseason position right now, and they got the football with 5 minutes left up by a score.
Yeah, I'm really I'm not shocked, but I'm surprised that the Bears are the way they seem to be dominating this game. I thought the Bears had a chance, and I thought it could go either way. This is a game that I stayed away from. But Caleb Williams, there's a guy that I wanted to run out and say didn't have it. Mm-hmm. Here's a guy that's really under new leadership and guidance and tutelage of a new head coach. Here's a guy that's making stride. Here's a guy that was crying at training camp. They kicked him off the field, kicked the first team off and said, no, get it together. And the demand was very high on Caleb Williams. The pressure that the coach said, hey, look, put the second group in there. He pushed Caleb Williams, and he pushed him to the edge, and he flew because the Chicago Bears, they're competing. Not saying they're a great team and not saying, but they're an above-average team, and they're competing, at a high level. Kudos to the Chicago Bears and what they've been able to do.
And not to look too far ahead, but Week 17, right after Christmas, that following Sunday, the Niners host the Chicago Bears at Levi's Stadium. That might be a game that could determine who gets into the NFC postseason and who is on the way out. So right now, the Niners looking up at Chicago, a game in front of them. If Chicago holds on, they move to 7-3 and remain in the postseason picture. All right, the game that has not gone so well right now in Jacksonville, the biggest blowout right now, oddly on the board, is the Chargers at 7-3.
Yeah.
They're just getting destroyed right now by Jacksonville, 35-6.
Yeah, this one, it's near and dear to me. I love this Charger team, and especially what Harbaugh's done. But I'll tell you right now, they're done. The Chargers are not. Unfortunately, I don't know if they make the playoffs, but if they got in, they're not doing anything. That's if you think of Kansas City or if you think of any team, Philadelphia. We talked about teams that are playing well. Take both starting tackles, and then take your first and second string running back and put them on ice and say they're done. It'd be hard for any team to compete. It will compete at that level and think that they're going to win a Super Bowl. Can it happen? Yeah, it's possible, but not probable. That is what happened to the Chargers. Take both starting tackles, then take your second string tackles, take them out. They're playing with fifth and sixth string on their third and fifth and sixth tackles. This is where they have fallen to. So when you think about that, it's hard to win. So for that reason, I don't think the Chargers, they don't make any noise. Even if they squeak into the playoffs, they make no noise at all, even though they got an unbelievable quarterback in Herbert.
And then the last one in progress right now in the fourth quarter is Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Probably the closest game right now and the most competitive game, quite frankly, a shootout, 37-32 with 9 minutes left in the ball game. Buffalo is up.
Yeah, and it's just Tampa Bay, you just can't count them out because of the quarterback they have, and you can never count Buffalo out because of the quarterback that they have. And you saw both of these quarterbacks with their fingerprints all over this game. These are two quarterbacks that want to will their team to win, that plays with so much bravado, and guys that can just take over the game. Baker Mayfield can take over a football game. Josh Allen can take over a football game. Baker Mayfield can do it with his legs, as ugly as he looks running and how hard it looks like he's running, look like he's just struggling. And you look up and he's picked up 5. He's picked up 10. Baker Mayfield is unbelievable in the way that he orchestrates. But I tell you, Buffalo and Josh Allen, they're pretty amazing too. This game's going to go down to the wire.
All right, the 4 1 o'clock games. A lot of good ones, honestly. Let's start first with the AFC North and get this one out of the way, because if you heard earlier on the kickoff show, Lo gave you the lock of the day, and it seems like it's going to be the Ravens in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's my lock of the day, baby. Lock it up again for me back there. Lock it up again for me. There you go. I just think that Cleveland is done. They're deflated. even though it's Baltimore and it's a team that, that it's always a rival because the Ravens used to beat Cleveland, they left, and all the story behind that whole ordeal is always merit for a good game. I'm surprised it's at 8. If you want to for sure lock, buy it down to 1.5, and you got that. It's money, free money, and tell them Low Nil sent you.
And then elsewhere, a couple of, honestly, I don't know which game I want to watch more, Low, between L.A. hosting Seattle, the Rams at home against the Seahawks.
Oh, boy.
Both 7-2 teams.
Oh, boy.
Whoever wins is going to be in first place in the NFC West. Or Denver hosting Kansas City. The Chiefs right now outside of the postseason looking in a division rivalry game. So AFC West, NFC West. First of all, which game are you more interested in?
Oh, boy. I think this is
The answer is yes.
Right. Both these games, I'm interested in watching. I think right now, though, because I know the Chargers really is not going to have any bearing, for me, it's the Seattle game. It's the Seattle and the Rams, because I really believe these are the two best teams could possibly in the NFC. In Denver and Kansas City, I want to see. I don't think neither one of those teams are the best team in the AFC. They're up there. I don't think that they're the best, though.
No, I think right now Seattle and LA are the two teams in the NFC that you got to keep an eye on, and that's the game that I'll certainly have my eyes on as well. All right, another also good game. Sunday night, Philadelphia hosting Detroit, a Lions team that has not played as well away from the Dome, but Jared Goff, a 20-3 touchdown to interception ratio. Meanwhile, Philly just got past Green Bay last week. Who do you like in that one, Lo?
Yeah, where's this one at?
This one is in Philly.
Yeah, this one's in Philly, but I'm telling you, man, you can't never, Jared Goff is what he's been able to do. The resurrection of his career, going to Detroit was the best thing for him. When he was with the Rams, his inability to throw the ball down the field, he just looked like a guy. The development that he has had and the tutelage that he has had, and look no further than Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears. Look who left as the offensive coordinator, became the head coach. That's what has helped Jared Goff. Just like we talk about Shanahan, the quarterback whisperer, there's another coach out there that's quarterback whisperer. But this game, though, it's going to be hard because you look at, they don't score a lot of points. The running back, he has not Saquon has not been Saquon-esque. Philadelphia's played great defense. They haven't been able to manufacture points. I'm going to take the road team. I'm going to take the road team and go with the Detroit Lions.
I do too. I just think that Jalen Hurts right now in this offense is not a well-oiled machine. And while they might be by the time they get to the postseason, I think this is a game that Detroit can get if they can score 3 touchdowns, which that offense absolutely can. In fact, Jahmyr Gibbs had 3 touchdowns by himself in their blowout victory last week against Washington. All right, we'll wrap up with the 49ers and the Cardinals. This is a game that I think San Francisco is going to come out and look like they used to look because Brock Purdy is as close to 100% as possible. It's no disrespect to the Cardinals, but this is a game, if you're the Niners, you can't lose because you are better than Arizona. They got past them barely the first time they played, but this is a totally banged-up Cardinals team missing their number 1 wide receiver, their left tackle, a linebacker. You go down the list, their starting running back. They are compromised. Meanwhile, the Niners are as healthy as they've been this season, considering the injuries that they've sustained. I like the Niners in this one, and I think they move to 7-4.
So do I. I'm all over it. If you want to do a 2-team parlay, take the Niners. Take the Niners in Baltimore. I like it. I like it a lot. I think when you think about this game and this matchup, this is an Arizona Cardinal team that is leaking. Even though Arizona is going to be able to manufacture points because of the offense, of the defense that the Niner has, unfortunately, has not been great as of lately, have allowed a lot of points. I just think with Brock Purdy back, and not just Brock Purdy back, but having 4 or 5 weeks to be in a position to watch the game, get healthy, get more than healthy, get right, because of Jones has given him that opportunity to become 100% healthy and to orchestrate this offense, to be watching film. When you're watching film and watching the film of you're like, okay, I'm watching me. You think about what you can do better. When you're watching someone else and you're watching where you think about their thought process and saying, wow, he went here with the ball. What made him do that? So you get to listen to another quarterback go through his preparation, but go through his assignments, where he wants to be, why he's doing it, and guarantee it's different than what Brock's is. So when Brock's able to watch Daniel Jones and see the success that Mac Jones, has had, I guarantee it's going to sharpen his ability to operate this offense because he got to look at it from a second position instead of the first.
Well, hope the Niners can roll. And again, we're going to have all your reaction, hopefully for a Victory Monday tomorrow from 6 to 6 with the Morning Roast, Signing Guru, Wildern Dibs, because coming up later tonight at 4 o'clock, the Golden State Warriors take on the New Orleans Pelicans. Mark Grandy will have Warriors Live for you at 3 o'clock. Warriors wrap up after the game. The Warriors trying to keep the good times rolling on the road after a couple of back-to-back wins against the San Antonio Spurs. The next time you will hear us, Evan Giddings and Lorenzo Neal, is going to be in 2 weeks from now, November 30th, when they go to Cleveland, because we will not be on the Monday night game. That's when they play the Cardinals next week. So we'll talk to you in 2 weeks, and then obviously we'll be back week 15 at Laughing Monk Brewing. Get to 957thegame.com, the kickoff show graphic, the Eventbrite link. Secure your spot to and from the stadium. It's a great time. It's a great place with great people and a great experience always at Laughing Monk Brewing. But for right now, for Steven Risotto, for Lorenzo Neal, my name is Evan Giddings saying so long for the kickoff show, the Niners and the Cardinals. We'll see who comes out with the victory. Fox Sports Radio coming up next, all ahead on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, boy! Alameda County Health is hiring. Be part of a team that makes a real impact every day. We offer excellent benefits, opportunities for career growth, and the chance to truly serve your community. Apply now at acjobs.org. That's acjobs.org.
November is a great time to get a new TV. Now that the top-rated brands like Samsung, LG, and Sony are at the lowest prices of the year. With Black Friday deals available, what more could you want? How about better than Black Friday? Before you click, you should call Video Only to see how you can go lower than Black Friday. That's right, the best TVs at better prices. Check out Video Only before you buy, or you'll be sorry.
It's Black Friday sale time at Big O Tires. Get the tires you want for less. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Pirelli, and more. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O branded tires. Hurry, sale ends December 7th. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those? Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Considering starting your weight loss journey with GLP-1 medication? Don't trust just anyone with this decision. Jumpstart MD is your local, trusted provider with 13 Bay Area clinics and expert care available online or in person. Jumpstart MD specializes in safe, effective weight loss with personalized clinical support. Trust the experts. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com. Mention radio and start for only $99 this season.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Stand-up comedian Tom Segura is coming back to the Bay Area with his Come Together tour. He'll be performing at the Paramount Theater in Oakland on November 30th. Get your tickets at livenation.com. For a chance to win your way into the show, enter online at 957thegame.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
And was the Packers-Giants. Jameis Winston leading the Giants on a drive to try to tie up this game against Green Bay. Throws a pick in the end zone. Game over. Packers have the ball, 25 seconds left, 27-20. Texans and Titans are tied at 13. Bills with the ball in a 37-32 lead. Panthers trying to come back from a 24-19 deficit. And then there's the Bears and the Vikings. Let's stay with that game right now. So as soon as I want a full-blown negative on J.J. McCarthy, I even said at the time, look out, it could turn his whole game around. It did just that. 2 perfect passes to conclude a drive to give the Vikings the lead 17-16, and then the Bears ran the kickoff back 60 yards. So they got themselves into position right now. They have a 4th and 1 at the Minnesota 31-yard line, and there's 4 seconds to go. So it's going to come down to this field goal attempt right now. It's about a 48-yard field goal attempt for the Bears to avoid the embarrassment of blowing a 16-3 fourth quarter lead. So we'll see how this one goes. There was a missed field goal earlier in this game by the Bears, so this is anything but automatic. But yeah, in that last drive to give the Vikings the lead, McCarthy threw 2 perfect passes, one to set him up, the second on the touchdown pass, and he was obviously congratulated by his coaches and players, but then they forgot to cover the kickoff, and now the Bears will have a chance, VJ, to win this game.
Yeah, it'd be a big win for the Bears, it'd be a division win. You need it, and to stay within. Packers got their dub, so now that's you know where that stands right here. But I mean, here's the game and here's the kick right here for the Bears. They need it. Haven't been able to move the ball much today, and
it is good.
There it is.
So the Vikings seemingly had this game in the comeback and a special teams collapse, and the Bears come away with a win. That's 7 wins in the last 8 games. Caleb Williams is shaking his head. He should. He didn't have a good game. Just 16-32 passing. But for the Vikings to drop to 4-6 in that division, that is a brutal loss and could be the end of their hopes of getting into the postseason. Meanwhile, by the way, the Giants have not given up until that play.
Yeah,
all right, so that is it. They had
over.
one last play left. So that
over.
game is officially over. Green Bay wins. So let's take a look at that NFC North right now. So the Packers get to 6-3-1. Mm-hmm. The Bears are at 7-3. The Lions go into the game on the road against the Eagles at 6-3.
Yep.
And, if the Eagles prevail, all of a sudden the Lions are staring at 3rd place.
Yeah.
In that NFC North.
On the kick return for the Bears too, let's give credit. It's good blocking.
It was.
And it's not that the Vikings special team. No, it sometimes the other guy is good too. It's good blocking. And it's a good cutback read by the return man. You have all this clutter, but you see over here, you got 2 white jerseys and 2 purple jerseys. And if the 2 white jerseys just touch the purple jerseys, I could get to a seam and then turn the Jets on and set my team up for a dub. And that's what he did. The Bears, though, are playing with fire like we saw the Commanders with last year. These last second wins, how long can you keep it going? How sustainable can it be when you have to put together a complete game? DeAndre Swift, 21 carries for 90 yards today. So you had some stability with the running game on the ground right there. They just couldn't get the passing game. Roma Dunze, who I tell you guys, I'm just, 2 for 41, right? One of his catches was for 24 yards. So, the targets, it's something's up there with the passing game. But like you said, you get the dub, and that's why I make sure, let's just give credit to the special teams for Chicago for putting the blocks together to spring their guy to set up a dub. Can't knock that.
Josh Allen today, 3 touchdown passes, 3 rushing touchdowns now, and the Bills lead the Buccaneers 44-32. So, this one now looks like it's very much going to be in the Bills' tank. 2:35 to go on that one. So
Houston for the win right here. 2 seconds left.
All right, so Houston right now and the Texans tied at 13.
Did you see the ref run in there so he couldn't take the practice kick? You see the ref, the Titans call a timeout, and he was still going to go try to kick it, which I've seen. That teams are getting really upset. Was it the Monday night game? Was it the Eagles and Packers game? Their whole sideline, you can see Saquon Barkley, and they go, "Yo, that's a flag. He can't. Once the whistle blow, he can't do that. He can't go still take a kick." And usually we used to see that a lot, right? They try to freeze him, and they would still snap the ball just so let me get a feel.
Sure.
Let me get it. But the ref, I just thought that was hilarious how the ref.
Well, they can always say, I didn't hear any whistle.
And quick sidebar, look at these Rams unis. Yes, sir.
No.
I'm all for this right here.
What color is that?
That's black.
Well, they're not black. They're a blue team.
No, it's black because it's a funeral for the Seahawks. See, you got to dig deeper, Steve.
First of all, the Seahawks are not going to win in L.A., even though it's a Seahawks.
It actually looks like a navy, dark navy.
This is going to be a great game.
Awful, to be honest. And the Texans have won the game 16-13, a huge win for the Texans today. They get the 5-5, keep themselves alive in that race, in that division. Meanwhile, the Titans go to 1-9. 1-9. All right, the other game that we're watching right now are the Panthers and the Falcons. Can Bryce Young lead the team back? And do we have a touchdown? It's a touchdown! It's a touchdown!
Rock and roll! Was that a pass? Is that
Wait a second. Hold on. They haven't signaled anything.
I think he might have signaled. There it is.
Rico Dowdle.
This kid right here just made himself a big contract this year.
How about
he signed
that?
a 1-year deal with them, I believe.
So the Panthers get in the end zone. They take the lead 25-20. You go for two. They're going to go for two. They have to.
Well, never mind.
Minute 20 to go. The minute 20 to go. They're going to go for two here, but they have taken the lead. Still 2 minutes. So actually a minute 20. So a minute 20 to go right now. But this was Rico Dowdle has been an unbelievable find. VJ and I both admit we have no recall of his 1,000-yard season in Dallas last year.
That's a pass.
Just a little swing pass, and
look, the lineman
he is not going to be denied. Look at that. Was he on the – wait, he was out.
He was out.
He was clearly out. No, he was way out.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know, Jim.
That might be a call stands.
Because you have to have...
I don't know. When he fully stepped down, I thought he was out.
You know what? I have to keep him in. Because once the foot comes up, you can't say, it comes up and it's slid.
I think they're going to look at this.
I see Monty.
You hear what? There's a sliver. There's a sliver I see in between.
Because when his foot comes up, it looks like he was out, but he wasn't. Once my foot comes up, dude, I'm not out of bounds.
You got another angle on this one. You got another angle.
There was a sliver
here it
when
comes
his foot
right
was down.
here. That left foot comes down.
Is that a sliver or just a black
he's
part?
There. It looks like he's hitting white.
No, he's in.
Yeah.
His foot is over. That's the outer of his foot. The cleat rises up, guys. That's the outer of his foot. That's not on the white. It has to touch the white. It's not, and if it's not,
well, you can't see from that angle.
This is a bad angle. Why are they showing that?
Why are they showing angles?
Who's in the truck? Who's in a truck that said, "Go to camera 32"? That was bad.
You got 100 cameras on the field. Give me the angle that's right on top of his foot on the sideline. So Dowdle is credited for a touchdown, but they are reviewing the play again. Minute 20 to go. So they are still. So the ruling on the field was a touchdown.
What do you got? You got him out? I think he's got to stand.
It's close. Well, it's hard because when he puts his foot down initially, you see that sliver, right? But as he planted his foot, then it looked like it did spread over the line. So right there, that looks like it's on the white.
I don't think so. I don't see no white come up. I just see the green come up. I don't see any white.
We were just listening in here, and it sounds like Dean Blandino said he'd call him out. Here's the review.
And the review is?
He is out of bounds.
Out of bounds. So they have reversed the call, and that means that the Panthers still have work to do. All right. So it looked to me like there was some white.
They better stay consistent with calls like that then if you're going to do that.
Okay.
If you're going to make that call, I'm just saying, man, just stay consistent with it. You call it because we've always heard, they've been told if it's close.
Are you accusing the league of some kind of bias against the Panthers?
I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
Okay, well, you seem to be indicating there's a reason why they reversed that call.
I mean, you answer the question yourself. You're a smart guy. You're a Hall of Famer. You've been doing this longer than me. You can answer that question. You don't have to ask me.
The bottom line is they still have plenty of time here. There's a minute 23 to go. And let's see, where is the ball right now? So the ball is at the Atlanta 10-yard line. All right, so 10-yard line here, down 5, so they need a touchdown. First and goal right now with a minute 23 to go.
One-on-one coverage at the top with one safety. That's where I'm going.
And again, this is for the Panthers to stay in the conversation to get into the postseason. Let's run it up the middle and lose 3 yards.
See, you know what's wrong? What's wrong with that play is they send a guy in motion. Remember, I just said you got one-on-one at the top with one safety. Why in the hell would you send a guy in motion that's going to bring another defender, then try to run a counter to that same side? That's a bad schematic play call. If you're gonna run it that way, don't bring a guy over there in motion because it brings another defender. And he came right up through the line, untouched. And what is that, a 3-yard loss? 2-yard
By the
loss?
way, remember that Steeler-Bengal game, how close it was? 34-12. Steelers are leading right now.
Did they pull away?
34-12.
Yeah,
2 minutes to go. The Steelers are going to get to 6-4, still lead that division, regardless of what the Ravens do later on today. All right, so we've got the Bills pretty much wrapping up their game now.
Yeah.
So the Bills are going to come away with winners today over the Bucs. So looking at that NFC South, Bucs fall to 6-4, and this is why this is so big for Carolina right now.
Right.
They need to win this game with Tampa losing. Minute 19 to go, second and goal now from the 13. They go backwards. They need to go forward here.
Got to get rid of it, B.
And he throws it away.
No flag. Yeah, that's fine, though. Just put it. Listen, if my guy can't get it, nobody can get it. Just throw it. If you got to throw it to the sideline, let your guy go make a play. Don't throw it inside and let the corner undercut it and pick it off.
By the way, game's just underway. Did the 49ers return the opening kickoff for a touchdown? Because I see 16 seconds into the game, 49ers leading 7-0.
Well, that was fast.
Rams, by the way, on their opening drive have a first down at the Seattle 17-yard line. So they're going right down the field as well. Kyron Williams had a 30-yard run to set up that opening drive for the Rams. All right, third down and goal from the 13-yard line. Panthers trying to get into the end zone. They got trips right.
And I would get rid of this quick, too. It's a good combo.
Bryce Young is going to run. No, he's going to pull. And he's got touchdown, Panthers. And that's what you do. You start to run. You draw the defense. McMillan, the rookie. Right out of Arizona. Wildcat. And that is it. That will give them the lead. 25-24. Minute 8 to go for the Panthers,
That's
and they will go for
400
2.
yards passing today.
Yeah.
For BY, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's having a big.
Yeah.
He had 354.
This is why you don't write quarterbacks off, because remember last year everybody was ready to get rid of, and Bryce Young wasn't the guy. I remember hearing that. This is why you just don't write quarterbacks off.
Okay, wait, hold on. I see
early.
celebrating going on. What's the celebration?
Well, Steve, would you like to know what happened in San Francisco or in Arizona?
Yeah, what happened?
They returned the kickoff for 99 yards.
Okay, so what's
Christian
kickoff?
McCaffrey then punched it in.
Oh, I see. A 99-yard kickoff
99-yard return.
And did not get in the end zone. That is
somebody hawked him?
Yeah.
You know what? That by the way, guys, that has to at the very least tie a record. By the way, the 2-point conversion is good
you see that
for
throw?
the Panthers.
You see that put right there by Bryce Young?
That has to be at the very least ties a record for the longest non-scoring play in the history of the NFL. You can't have a longer non-scoring play than 99 yards.
Not unless you get a interception in the end zone and you try to return it.
Well, you can, but it's 99. Well,
no. They count the yardage in the end zone now for interception returns. Don't Ed Reed have a 108 or 109?
Yeah.
It's like right at the back of the end zone. Someone has a 109. I know it's
a 99-yard kickoff return down to at the 1. So McCaffrey gets the touchdown there. What's happening with this Rams team right now? They have a first down. Do we have?
They were moving. Yeah, they were moving.
There we are. So they're down to the. They have a fourth down and they're going for it.
I love it.
On 4th and 1 right now in the opening drive, and a little play action.
Don't know if I like the play
Matthew
call.
Stafford throws it into the ground.
The play call though.
Wow, and my boy Higbee nothing.
Well, the thing is this. Number one, it's great recognition by Seattle. And Stafford, no, that's on him. But I don't like this play call. 4th and 1.
I don't like
this
those
early.
Uniforms.
You got
they look awful. They look awful.
The weird thing there is that
I'm digging these.
They went for it on 4th and 1. They had a designed run to Puka Nacua, and he was going to pick it up. But then McVay challenged the spot on the previous call, and should have gotten it. It looked like Williams picked up the first down, but they didn't call it.
But you know what, though, Bo? A challenge on the first drive in the first quarter. Going for it on 4th and 1 where they were.
Hold on a second. We just got a big kickoff return for the Falcons. So they're down 3, and there's still a minute to go.
What is up with special teams?
And yet they can't take the win on a field goal because the Panthers went for 2.
Right, but they can tie the game, send it to overtime, and look
they
at
can't
this.
take the win.
So they are near midfield with a minute to go right now, and the Falcons are not done yet. So we'll see what they can do.
All right, Kurt. My man to the left, my Hall of Famer to the left. Why don't you trade it where you could play about 8 weeks ago?
Kirk Cousins is in for the injured Michael Penix Jr.
Could you imagine if they have to go back to him for the rest of the season? Like
and by the way, the Falcons have 2 timeouts left. So unless he absolutely implodes here, there's a complete pass out of bounds, no timeout needed. All of a sudden, they are in Panthers territory.
That's a push-off not called, and the whole sideline see it. That's a big push-off by the receiver.
Oh, how often do they call offensive interference?
And I was about
Never.
to say that. I see that game to game, man. The competition committee that's over the officials this offseason, they have to revisit that.
Look at big receivers have been doing it forever. You ever watch Calvin Johnson play back in the day?
Well, Michael Irvin was famous for it too, but Michael Irvin made it look so smooth, though. I can't front. He did.
So that means they are now into. They still got a ways to go. They need about another 10 yards for a legitimate. But they can throw down the middle because they have timeouts, and there's a pass all the way down the 31-yard line. So they are definitely in field goal position. Now Bijan Robinson on the receiving end. Look at Kirk Cousins.
I know.
He's strutting like, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Hold on, Kirk. Your job's not done yet.
Sam Darnold just made an appearance in this game, you guys.
Yeah, just do a pick.
Oh, boy. That's good. The question with Sam Darnold. All right, after Kirk Cousins was celebrating, he gets the pass knocked down. All right, so after the Rams fail on 4th and 1, Sam Darnold throws an interception. That's the big question moving forward for Sam Darnold is in a huge game, and there's everything riding. First place, obviously, in the NFC West riding on this game. Can he deliver? And he threw a pass off the back foot, falling backwards. Big interception by the Rams.
What did I say last week about Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I know. Well,
what did I say? I mean, I'm not trying. It's not a victory. I'm just saying
it's just a horrible
he's
pass.
been playing well. I'm not trying to say he's been playing great this year.
Ooh.
But the Sam
By the
Darnold
way, the
I
Rams
always
got
know
away with a tug on the jersey.
Is when it matters the most. Like that's a bad throw, but when it matters the most, he'll give it up. He just will. It's always been. He was that at SC. He's been that when it matters the most. Sam Darnold, he'll fall back, man. He'll give it up. It'll look good for a while. But hopefully the rest of the Seattle team they have around him. He's been playing great, so I'm not going to knock him like he's not.
They don't need him to win games because that defense is outstanding in Seattle.
But he kind of has been, though, right?
But you don't want him to lose games. And plays like that will lose you games.
Yeah.
Especially on the road against good teams.
How does defense get so good so fast, though, honestly? Because they were terrible 2 years ago.
A couple of years ago.
They were. I
would expect you to have the answer.
Of course, but
that's really the answer. That's what it is. That's the future of defense in the NFL. It's that the Michigan, the Jesse Minter, the Mike McDonald.
And by the way, speaking of that
I wasn't
defense,
trying to go there.
No,
guys,
but
I was trying
you should have.
They just stuffed Blake Corum, the Michigan star, went nowhere, and the Seahawk defense is not going to give up this automatic touchdown that easily.
Look at this penetration.
Yeah, and they stuff them at the line right there. So the Rams now have a 3rd and goal. After the interception and taking the ball to the 3-yard line. Look at that. Corum was right there.
Well, no, when you have to jump cut in the backfield, that's never a good sign.
Yeah.
That's just never
incomplete for Kirk Cousins.
What are they going to do? So Kirk Cousins, what happened?
Went deep. I thought this might have been PI here. These two were getting tangled up.
And another run going absolutely nowhere. Look at the Seahawks are just gang tackling.
8 white jerseys in the backfield.
They just ate up the Rams' offensive line. All right, so
they'll be lining up for the field goal, looks like.
So we are going to get a field goal attempt here from the Falcons to try to tie this game. There's 21 seconds left.
How far?
This is about a mid-40s. What are we looking? 45-yard field goal attempt for Atlanta right now to tie this game and send it to overtime.
We haven't done this in a few weeks. Make a miss. What you got?
He's going to make this.
I got miss. Okay, no problem.
And the pick is... Good.
He just snuck it in.
All right, 16 seconds to go. We're all tied. All right. We'll continue on with our coverage of these very exciting games around the NFL.
4th and goal, Rams.
This is End Zone Radio.
NFL Sundays live here.
Snap is back. Hold is good. Sweeps the right leg. Cairo Santos is up. It's good from 48. Cairo Santos mobbed on the Viking logo. Bears win it.
It's your NFL Sunday. We're Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox, and you know how it is. During the holidays, you're always loaded down with packages. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, your body starts to ache, and that doesn't make it easier, but Aleve can help. It has long-lasting body pain relief so you can forget those body pains and make some happy memories instead. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours so you can keep up with the season's magic. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
If you need up to $5,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com is the name you can trust. It's free to use, available 24/7, and you're never required to accept any loan offer. Some lenders offer same-day funding. If you need up to $5,000, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com has been helping customers for 15 years and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you need cash for credit card bills, car repairs, child care, or anything else, go to WeFixMoney.com. Make sure you type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. Go to the company you trust. WeFixMoney.com. Just fill in the information and get an answer in minutes at WeFixMoney.com. So if you need cash for up to $5,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. That's WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not